What a piece of shit being away when we show up.
What a piece of shit. I mean, just a piece of shit in general. He's not have a reason.
No, I don't know these people.
Who the hell?
Strangers.
Stranger danger, stranger danger.
Yeah, they're my friends.
Why is there a child there?
I'm babysitting, aren't I?
You didn't know JD's actually got kids? He just found out.
Huh. I bet it's that crazy chick from Edco.
Of all of our friends that doesn't have a kid yet, JD would be the one to find out randomly that he has a kid. Because Bob doesn't have sex. Oh, right. Bob's not here.
I almost wonder if I got kids out there somewhere.
I had that wonder fucking quenched in me, dog.
I wonder. Hey, surprise! I don't want to wonder anymore.
I never wondered. I lied. Okay, so I need to open up so much shit.
Why don't you open your butt cheeks for me?
Yeah, so let's talk about this vampire baby.
Yeah, what you guys do with the vampire baby? Is it even a vampire?
I mean, this, like I said, this is something we'll have to talk about in game. It's it all. Has it? Matt, did you tell Blaine any of it yet?
No.
Okay. Yeah, it all came crashing together in my brain real quick, like 4 days ago.
So you
And I
did
went-
nothing with the baby for 2 days?
And I went, oh fuck.
It's just been shoved in a bag of holding?
I don't. That's the thing. Like, I came in late to the session, so I had no idea what happened. I didn't know where we stuck people, who we talked to.
Oh no, I have to update that. This is why I go through and I read everything, so I don't forget and or miss stuff. On this fucking like big white table I'm using for my desk, there is one spot right where I like comfortably set my mouse that has like a bump in it. So as
I
I'm
hate it.
like moving, my mouse will randomly just jump a direction. Like, motherfucker.
I hate that for you.
This real son of a bitch.
Blaine, I still haven't used the DAP table that I
No?
used to make all the foam weapons on. I think it's this
Yeah.
one over here. It is. It's still got DAP marks on it.
You know what?
The one I'm using is literally like the one you use for work. So I think it's even the same size.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good table.
Yeah, I found it in the shop. I don't know where it came from.
Not mine. I hold on to mine like they're
No, these are
literally
great.
going out of style. Yeah.
These are some of the best fucking tables.
Whenever I was throwing everything out of my the house that we were living in
Right.
Springfield, and moving into Ryan and Sarah's, and I was literally just on everything goes, everything gets trashed. I don't care what it is. If you want it, you take it. It goes. I'm getting rid of everything. Mom fought me on a bunch of it, but she was really like, "Oh, so we're throwing out the folding tables." I was like, "No, we're keeping those." She's like, "You're willing to throw out literally everything else, but not your folding tables?" I was like, "Yeah."
You know what
folding
those
tables
tables
come
have
with
gotten
me.
through? Listen here, woman.
Got a real,
Yeah, but have
Oh,
you
we
ever
got 10
got
minutes.
through the folding table?
No, I've actually not gone through a folding table. I've gone through a regular table.
You're not a Bills fan.
Imagine not being a Bills fan, dude. This guy.
What's that
Okay,
face,
who we
Matt?
missed?
You're muted, buddy.
that's the face of Cotton Morris.
I just got a gold bottle cap off a 3-star.
Hell yeah. That was a hell of a face you made.
Yeah, I was not
It's
expecting a fucking gold bottle cap off a 3-star raid.
I don't give a shit if my camera's in your stream, Kyle. I give a fuck less.
Hell yeah, bro. That's the support I need in my life.
Huh.
I need to look for fucking Gayron's shit though. I don't know where his token is.
I mean, you could get a trading block, Kyle, that can give you some support.
What'd you say?
Where's the last place that I had Favron's token?
No one cares about that fucking dumb bitch. He's not even here.
He's supposed to be though, right?
Found him.
Not his mommy.
God, I hope
Nobody
not.
panic. I found him.
Nobody was panicking.
You think
Damn.
I talked to that guy?
Damn.
Holy shit, John's here. 8 minutes to spare. What the fuck?
Who hurt you, Bob?
Your mom.
Why are
Everyone
you
he
so
just played
literal?
Groundhog with.
Yeah, I mean, he was sad because there was other people that existed in a Discord that wasn't his, and then he's mad because he's playing Call of Duty, and he's just been salty as fuck.
I'll do that to a man. All right. It'll turn you. It'll make you hate.
I don't know. Me and Kyle seem all right.
I mean,
Yeah, I don't. I think you could literally take one of Kyle's nuts in front of him, and he would just be like, "You know what, man? Thanks. I didn't need that one anyway."
I've been in some bad situations, man. Getting bolt actioned in the face by a bunny hopping dickhead in Call of Duty
Alright.
isn't something that's gonna get a rise.
Eat your
out of
guys'
me.
food.
I gets a rise out of me.
It rises
Everything in
me.
that game. If someone even looks at you in that game, you start screeching, guy. I haven't heard you say one thing you liked about that game, but I've heard 412 things that you hate.
So we start calling Cotton now to find out why he's late.
Yeah, probably.
Fuck Cotton.
You need him.
I don't fucking need him. Didn't need him
Think
last
of-
time. Don't need him this time.
Think of all the times that Cotton's random natural 20 knowledge checks have gained you interest and power.
True. I mean, Card thinks that, but I know that JD had it handled.
Mm.
Huh.
Mm.
I don't know. Brelin doesn't know a whole lot.
Let's get a call to old Cotton. Let's ask him why he's late.
And as soon as you hang up, let me know and I'll call him.
How's the man late? He's got 7 minutes.
Hey, I'm just wondering why you're late. Not this week. We changed it. 5:30.
Not nice.
So you're telling me that you're almost home.
He's gonna be late.
All right, bye. All right, I'm off phone.
All right, I'm calling.
Let me know when you're done.
He said, "What do you mean I'm late? It starts at 6."
Hey,
We
where you
changed
at,
it
dude?
5:30. It's basically impossible.
Well, we're D&D'ing. Come on, dude. I don't care whose idea it was. Ultimately, we need Favron the fucking elemental blade to
Burp.
do some elementaling and some blading.
Some elementaling and some blading.
All right, hurry up. All right, I hung up.
What was his shitty excuse?
He's shitting.
So literal.
William wants to know where you're at. You're late.
Shit, I'm coming.
Okay, well you got 5 minutes.
I'm finishing it off. I'll be right there.
All right. Later. He's in the bathroom.
JD's pretty upset that you're not here. JD Cotton says he's gonna be about 10 to 15 late.
Oh my god.
10 to 15.
He's gonna be
Never
10
in
to
his
15
life.
late, and he has his phone in his ass because it's vibrating.
Hell yeah. I mean, you can't fault the man for that.
You don't need 2 hands to wipe your ass.
Well, 20 works on an iPhone.
Okay, bye.
Hey, don't play with that.
Where's Jeff?
Doing Jeff things.
We need Jeff to call Cotton.
Hello. I'm here.
Hello. You should call Cotton and ask him where he's at.
Blaine, is my screen? Oh, you're not there. One job, Blaine. My documents. D&D. Card. Let's open up this one. Yeah,
Hey, Bob, you want a moonlight?
Called him and hung up on him too.
You like that? Good.
A what?
Do you want to moonlight?
I don't know. What's
Are you a freelance investigator?
No, I need someone to do a bunch of ServiceNow work, and I can't get anybody to do it, so I can pay Bob to do it.
Is it CNDB related?
No, actually, this is all requests that I need created.
Chris is really good at that.
Why don't you start an LLC real quick? Cost you like $200. Start an LLC, and then get you a contract, and you can charge us $100 an hour to build stuff.
I'll build your requests for you. You think Billy Littlejohn's wife would hire me for her contracting agency?
Did she take over his thing?
I don't know. I assume so, since he's supposed to be dead.
No, he definitely did.
Call up Fuckface at Pomeroy.
No. Just start your own LLC. It takes like $200 and 45 minutes of your time.
And I gotta do taxes and shit.
Mm-hmm. But you can use that big old PC you got and save all those receipts and use it as a tax write-off. That's what I do. I work from home, so the square footage of my office, the food I eat, my PC, all that stuff, tax deduction.
How can you not find someone to do ServiceNow work?
But it's gonna take forever. Like I can pay like CDW or WWT.
No, don't do
It's gonna take them-
CDW.
It's gonna take them 12 weeks to get me a resource, and it'll be somebody overseas.
CDW sucks cock.
Well, they said they do a lot, but WWT I know does 20 million a year in ServiceNow.
Yeah, well, I'm sure CDW does a lot too, but every single resource they've given us sucks donkey balls. So.
Yeah.
And we're paying
I
them.
wasn't even gay.
Fucking hell.
What about that good one?
Chris, you wanna
About-
fucking
Get
pull
a
your
mic.
headset out of your ass?
You wanna unfuck yourself?
I can't help it. It just happened. Oh wait, I know what's happening.
You sound terrible.
I can't
You
help
sound
it. It
worse
just
than
happened.
Blaine
Oh,
trying
wait,
to play
I
Call
know
of
what's
Duty.
happening.
You sound terrible.
That could be good. That'd be pretty bad.
Sound worse than Cotton trying
You
to take
sound
a
worse
shit.
than Blaine
Oh,
trying
wait,
to play
I
Call
know
of
what's
Duty. Sound worse than the third person on
He's
Migos.
gonna finally fucking show up.
Wait, did you say the third person on Migos?
Hello.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Jesus.
There's Cross.
Did you take a shit before?
They can hear you. Now get out of here.
Oh, they can hear you.
We don't want to though.
I said, get out of here.
She doesn't understand English.
Yeah, you're so
We
mean,
missed
Dad.
him, Jeff. Where's Jeff?
I was
Hey.
wondering why Jeff didn't call me.
I asked
My
the
name
same
is
question.
Jeff. You should say, "Oh my God, Jeff, we left the bar at the same time, and I got on before you."
'Kay.
Is Jeffy's number still
I have it.
8810304?
I'll tell you. I'll tell you. 2 seconds. Nice. Jeffy's number is 8810304.
All right,
Wasn't
call
he
him.
like, are we starting at 6:30? I didn't feel like he actually thought we were. I think he was just hoping we were.
Yep. messaged me this week and was like, "Hey, what alignment do you think TG is?" And I was like, why?
Isn't
Because
he
I asked him to
MG?
craft me a piece of armor.
He's looking at some feat options.
Yeah, and he's like, I'm just wondering what you've been thinking of his alignment. I was like, I mean, I assume that he's neutral good based off the way you kind of play him. Like, maybe lawful neutral, maybe true neutral, but definitely not anything chaotic.
No, I would put
Really?
him at I would put him on the neutral moral spectrum rather than good because I've straight up been like, hey, Brillin might kill somebody in a meeting and I want you to stand there just to be intimidation muscle. And he's like, yeah, I'll do it. He was just willing to be like, okay, if I murdered somebody in cold blood in the middle of a meeting with my staff.
Well, to him, he probably assumed you had a good reason.
I mean, that could be too.
Yeah, I mean, he might think that you're corporal punishing someone who, stole from you.
That could be.
Who was a bad person. He always struck me as chaotic good. Like, he doesn't really care what the rules are as long as the rules aren't interfering with what he wants.
He was dead set on saving Dwarf Lady. That's a
looking
pretty
for?
good
Yeah.
act.
That's
Yeah.
a redemption arc for him.
Yeah, that was he killed his.
Okay.
Killed her
Yeah, but
husband.
the other death wasn't
That's fine.
intentional.
No, but that doesn't mean he feels like it's not intentional. Like,
He's
Right, and that's good. You wouldn't give a fuck if you were neutral.
I agree.
I don't know. That's
You
not,
might
that's
care
not
if you were
necessarily
neutral.
true. Yeah.
You might not risk your life, but you'd care.
I mean, if you accidentally killed a motherfucker, I wouldn't give a shit.
That's like saying that an evil person can't care about people.
Evil people can totally care about people. Sometimes too
Exactly.
much. Thanks,
Exactly.
Anakin.
I don't
Thanks,
think-
Anakin.
I think when it comes to like his alignment and caring about that dwarf, though, he was willing to fight the party over that dwarf, which I feel like is a stance that more goodly to take than more neutral.
That could be. I don't know.
I mean, maybe I'm an asshole here, but I would say,
I mean,
in
you're
the
definitely an
total
asshole.
spectrum of TG's character, he has leaned more neutral good or lawful neutral than anything.
Yeah.
You need to edit that sentence and take out the maybe part.
I may be an asshole, but I'm still correct. That's how it should be.
That's fair. Look, I may be an asshole, but I'm right.
Mm-hmm.
I feel.
He's
I
out of
used to be a
line,
piece
but
of
he's
shit.
right.
I used to be a piece of shit.
Right up there with racist. Got a point.
Oh no.
Jeffy didn't answer, by the way.
Call
So
Sarah.
much stuff.
If he
I-
pretends
yeah, I
it's
don't-
not 6 o'clock, maybe it won't be
I don't
6
have
o'clock.
Sarah's to call her.
That's not gonna happen for me, dog.
I wouldn't do that.
If I had her number, I would.
I would. What's her number?
Let's say, if you give me her number, I'll call her. I don't feel bad, but I don't have her number to call her.
Hey, can we talk to your boyfriend, please? He's a late piece of shit for D&D. I'm sorry you had to find out this way.
This
You
is
say-
a piece of shit.
Okay, quick. Nathan, text Brittany to get Sarah's number, and then give us Sarah's number.
All right, thanks, Nathan.
Oh yeah, always got to do your part.
Maisie, are you done eating?
Yeah, I am. Why?
Don't be playing your game while you're eating.
How about you play with DN while I'm eating?
Bet you'd like that.
He would like that.
Hella gay. I'm not saying it's weird or anything, but it's hella gay.
I mean, yeah, there's nothing weird about being gay. It's just,
Bow, bow, be bow, bow.
All right, a mouthful of steak. I couldn't rebuttal.
Alright, how do I sound now?
Better.
Really quiet.
quiet, quiet but less awful.
I can't. Oh wait, let's see if it's turned up.
Hey, buddy.
At all.
You gonna be up?
What about now? How quiet am I now?
Can you hear me now? Good.
Better.
That's as loud as she goes.
You still sound gay.
Okay.
That's as loud as she goes.
Yeah, I mean, at least I'm gay and not an
Okay.
asshole.
I just
Uh,
want to make sure
Jeff
you're
Loft?
okay or whatever, because you're normally not late. So.
Well, I don't normally get a free beer.
Well, I mean, free beer is a free beer. I get it, brother. All right, be safe. Later.
You still at the bar?
He got a free beer, so he'll be here soon.
Is he still at the bar or is he on his way home?
He's on his way. He said they
Okay.
gave him a free beer, so his timeline got torn off.
We should start calling him Cotton all night.
Uh-huh.
He sounded maybe a little lit. I don't know.
He's
What do I call
definitely
Cotton?
Cotton
Well,
dude.
Turd God's getting
You
Turd
can
God's
call
getting
him
chaotic
Cotton.
now.
He might be because he. I think they went at like 4 at least.
There was a slight edge there to him, right? So he's like I said, he sounded a little. We'll see. So his alignment might change tonight. Just saying.
Do I still have
Oh,
my
yeah.
energy drained?
I think you guys have rested since then.
He does, but no one else does. He was too
Gotcha.
busy
So
tirelessly.
Favron
researching-
still does.
Yeah, he didn't stop researching in the library at all. So
Yeah, Cotton, you have to
Them's a
turn the
break.
game on so that time will pass for
I
your
played him
character and
last
the
time.
debuffs will fall
Ah.
off.
God damn.
You didn't let the debuffs fall off last week, so.
Oh.
while debuff
Yeah.
countdown were logged off.
I didn't say this was WoW. By the
Wow.
way, how's your game going, Bob? You still in the same
What?
guild?
Oh yeah.
You got you get the immortal yet?
No, dude. There's so many fucking retards in this guild.
It seems like no matter where you play, you're surrounded by idiots.
You said this was the
It's a
best
common
you've
denominator
ever
thing.
been in.
Yeah, damn.
I mean, they're decent. They're just fucking stupid.
Some pretty. I mean, there's a common denominator in all these groups.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
I could run out of this zone of death, or I could finish my cast.
It's mainly,
Definitely got to finish the cast.
Mhm.
There's a cast. Yeah, fuck that.
Mainly people getting chain lightninged on 4 horsemen, and fucking dick fucks dying horribly on Rejuvius because priests don't know what mind control's for.
It's usually the priest that dies on Resuvius for us.
Yeah, sometimes it's that too.
The very first pull we had of 4 horsemen. They didn't know where to put the horsemen, and we all instantly died. It was a lot of fun.
Just 4 corners.
Nope.
It's not a super crazy concept.
No, you put them all 4 on top of each other.
Nope.
No, you double stack the front 2 and murder them instantly.
Well, maybe. But nope.
In the run I brought to Blaine, my off tank died almost instantly, and I ended up double tanking.
Mm-hmm.
Worked out.
You could just have a DPS tank one of
We're
them.
fine.
It was fine. It was fine. A horrible run though, overall.
I mean, you started it with when you brought Blaine, so we all knew it was going to be a horrible run.
Blaine
I
was
was
hardly the
definitely
worst
Get some
player.
water.
Jesus, man.
I definitely was not the best.
Oh my god, God patched. And there's actually patch notes.
Oh my
Fix
god.
various camos not unlocking during progression. Fix frame rate drop issues. Address known freezing issues. Overall performance increases. Added fixes for stuttering and lag issues.
Yeah, I already had them
Recently,
today.
Top fix addresses some critical issues. Please make sure you're running the game drivers to 52661.
Yeah, but you can't get
You can't get it through
52661.
GeForce.
You have to literally download the fucking hotfix off their website.
Yeah,
Unless
I think,
they added it today. You couldn't get it last night. You had to literally download the hotfix from
So-
the fucking website.
Hey,
without-
weapon tuning's back.
So
Yeah.
without you guys,
Last
so
night.
one of the questions I had was, is this really IW on the PC side, or is this Phoenix causing these problems, right? Because it was their job to kind of do the port, right? And makes me wonder. I know they were involved in the last one too, and it wasn't near as bad, but just where was the QC responsibility for this crap, right? Because were some of the
QC
stuff that
doesn't
we were,
exist, John.
so
Yeah,
what I'm-
QC is an automated bot that just scans it and
QC
says,
costs
it's good.
money, and we ain't got money around here. All right.
Hold on.
so
They're a small indie company.
the overall effects that we were experiencing, I'm wondering if the console players were having the same problems.
According to Reddit, some of the BattleNet players weren't having the problems we had.
The console people definitely had the day
They
one
definitely
crash.
had some crashes and problems, I've heard.
Yeah, they had the crash. The crashes with like when you queued with the party was no matter what system.
Yeah, that was true.
Enemy or live ping will remain disabled until multiplayer until a fix is implemented.
But yeah, we're not going to animate it until the game goes live. We're still in beta.
We've added, okay. So we've added hotel into third-person mosh pit. Ooh, wow, no one gives a crap. There are no significant map changes, but we have patched various exploits and geometry bugs in the days since launch. UI UX, let's see. We are aware of the following issues, right? Shields provide invincibility with the VTOL. DDoS field upgrade availability bug, a bug affecting helicopter height, which allows them to leave the map in some instances. That's cute. And we'll
Hell
fix
yeah.
it eventually. That's on the maybe we'll fix that list.
Mm-hmm.
We're actively collecting weapon performance usage data, and we'll provide detailed updates on weapon balancing around season 1. Cool, whatever. Last week we disabled the attachment tuning feature due to an issue. Yeah, okay, it's back. This is the patch that should have came out Saturday.
Friday?
But it's
This
Friday.
should have probably been handled just right after the beta.
Like, I'm just saying, like, this is not a week after release
Your
patch. This is
expectations
a
are too damn
day
high.
I know.
one.
I feel like I'm expecting just a little bit out of a AAA company with a AAA game.
Nah, they're too damn
But
high.
they've
You need
With
released
a
lower.
$1 billion budget.
That they've released 14 versions of already.
Let's see
They
you
worked
make
on
a
for
video
3
game.
years.
Dude, there's literally indie
Nah,
developers
lower
who
your
make better
expectations.
games.
You're so entitled, Blaine.
Look, if
How
I
dare
want to
you
find
expect
love,
the
I'll lower
product
my
you paid for?
expectations. My video game expectations stay high.
Your love expectations are gonna be really low.
At this point, John, they're non-existent.
Jesus.
If someone just showed me affection, I'd probably be down for marriage.
I love you, Blaine. You want to
John, you want to get married?
Are you fucking
You
Riker?
just gotta settle for like a 40-year-old single mom.
He's devolved into Riker.
Jesus
Christ. That was pretty hidden below the belt there, Bob. Oh.
Pretty sick, dude.
You just gotta find you a 40-year-old single mom.
Hey, Bob's
Yeah,
single.
Bob's available.
Yo, Bob,
And he's
you want to
loaded.
get married, dude?
You don't make enough money.
It's not about the money I make. It's what you bring to the table.
Yeah, well, you're
This is that sugar baby life.
I gotta find something for you, Blaine. Hold on.
You
Okay.
got tight enough butthole.
Oh,
This will
come
make it
on.
work. This is what you need. This is what you need.
We got tight butthole defense over here, dude. It's like a dolphin's blowhole. All right.
See, that'd be.
This may take me a second, but I'm gonna find this. You'll get a.
Yeah, 10 years ago, that would have been
Back-
a Facebook quote.
Back in my day.
Tracker.
I'm gonna just download this hotfix for NVIDIA anyway while we wait for Jeffy.
Thought you weren't gonna do that.
I'm gonna do it
Yeah,
tomorrow.
well, maybe it'll help. Something's gotta give, right?
Right.
Yeah, your graphics card's gonna give out.
Ooh.
Fucking hopefully not, because I won't be buying another one. I'll just be playing on the Nintendo Switch, I guess.
Choose your onboard graphics.
Hey, turn that back
My
on.
CPU's, you know, I'll overclock that bitch. We'll do it.
I can tell you having a 9K
we
doesn't change
need-
anything. RS9, I'm sorry.
I got a i7 9700K. It's
We
not
still-
super great, but it's not terrible.
We still crash.
It's still what?
We still crash.
I didn't crash one time today.
Apparently, we've got more processing power. We got more processing power on our
Pattern.
machines than they have on their servers. All right, Beline, you gotta watch this. This
I
is-
literally wanted to punch my
I feel
monitor
like
the
you
last time I crashed.
Send it to me. I'll watch it. I ain't scared.
Because you never crash on a game where you're doing dog shit. Every single time you crash, you're like fucking,
Oh, John
and you're
said
like
here.
in the flow.
Yeah. Ain't that the truth?
I'll just put it in Discord. It's actually pretty funny.
Okay. Huh? Huh? I get it. This guy's living the dream.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, if it wasn't for the sex, I'd be gay. But the sex will hold you back, man.
Well, he said it kills a kill. Go do whatever you want.
Exactly. See, we're just talking about double income household.
Yeah.
I had a great time. Let's hang out with the boys then. Jeff better hurry the fuck up.
Hey, Cotton, you ever gonna log into WoW again?
Nope.
No, JD ruined that.
What level are you, Cotton?
72.
73? I'm 70.
It's November, dude.
Guess what level I am?
71.
Nope.
I saw some Asian man playing your account the other day.
Fuck it. Let him get it.
Hell yeah.
It was like whenever I called Chris that one day, and I'm like, "Why the fuck are you in Vash fucking mining?" And he's like, "I'm at work."
Oh no. Oh no.
Or why Nathan calls me one day. He's like, "Why are you playing ranked on League?"
Yeah, that was good. Like, why are you just losing in fucking like Iron One?
He's like, "Why are you playing Shaco? You've never played
Yeah,
Shaco."
yeah.
Best meme was that didn't even have a password that I shared with anything else, so I don't know how they got it.
Bob, instead of playing WoW, I'm currently being the worst on JD's Pokemon server.
Yeah, I see your
Awesome.
grass floor from space, little bitch.
I mean, your house is turning out pretty good though. Like, you weren't kidding when you said you were gonna do like a modern aesthetic to match the rest of this place. You weren't kidding. I'm already excited to see what it looks like when you're done.
Yeah, hopefully I can finish it in the next couple days.
Before Christmas.
Before Christmas.
You gotta put things on your own timeline, Cotton. Come on.
He needs to finish it so he can go get some of the Halloween event Pokemon before it's done.
I can't beat him. I tried to fucking fight your boss and he turned my ass inside out.
Aren't
There's
they
two of them.
level
Did you try
based?
both of them?
Yeah, no, he fucking one-shot me. Like, he just ran through my whole party. He outsped. I mean, here's the thing. Like, I don't have any
Nah, you're the
competitive
sped, dude.
Pokemon.
That's fair. There's some other ones though you
That's
can find
not
out in
true.
the
I
wild.
sent you a Mimikyu.
Yeah, my only competitive Pokemon Matt gave me. I have 3 competitive Pokemon.
Huh. That's 3 Pokemon, dog. I'll tell you.
Hell yeah.
No, I sent you a message last night, and I sent you a Clink, and I sent you a Mimikyu.
Yeah, I saw him.
Both of those, fuck.
Matt, what's your obsession with gears?
Dude, fucking Clink Clang's a fucking monster.
Hey, look at that. I just found my first shiny.
I remember you using that shitter on Reborn.
Did you?
Yeah, and he
They put
literally
spawning like crazy.
swept
pink
gems for
Mary.
me. That's not a shiny.
No, it said I got the achievement first shiny.
Nice.
Yeah, you
Yeah, but
son of a bitch.
does it have stars and stuff around it, or was
Yeah.
it just pink?
Yeah, no, he was like sparkly.
Oh, okay.
What's the deal with the pink Pokemon?
It's just
From
a
that one
skin.
episode of Pokemon.
Yeah, there's later an episode of Pokemon where there's just a bunch of pink skinned ones, so
It's,
they
Pink
incorporated that in the
Islands.
game. Same thing with the Valencia skin ones. There's like a Orange Island or something like that in an episode. So the base Pixelmon mod puts them in there.
Did you say there's an Orange Island in an episode? There's a whole goddamn
just one.
Orange Island series.
Just the one
baby.
episode.
Just the one. Just the one.
You got a problem with the one episode, dude?
It's a really long episode, okay? They did like what they do in Dragon Ball Z. It's all one episode, but they break it up.
Well, in Dragon Ball Z, it was all like one 30-second period of Goku screaming. That was 35
There's,
episodes.
There's 36 episodes in the Orange Island arc, by the way.
And a whole lot of
You
surfing
know,
on
I remember right
Snorlax,
about
which
that.
is the best
All I
part.
remember about that is Lapras. That's it.
Lapras and Tracy.
That's what.
dude.
That's all. That's the whole thing. Riding on Lapras.
Tracy and Scyther, dude.
Oh, that's
Oh
true.
no, not Tracy.
Tracy had Scyther.
Scyther's a
He had an
beast.
old ass grandpa Scyther.
Fuck, is
You want me to
Jeff?
send
Is
you
he
a
finally
Scyther
here?
too?
Yeah, Jeff talked. He was asking about things
Jesus
Pokemon.
Christ.
You want me to send you a Scyther 2 con? I'll send you a level 1.
Yeah, fuck yeah, I do.
Alright.
Okay. So Jeff's here.
I literally Google Orange Islands, and this is the first thing that I see.
My graphics drivers are
We
updated still.
can get started.
Are we picking up with me coming back or?
Yep. We are picking up. So the morning that you come back is when we will start. You guys can be gathered at whatever place you want to be gathered up at, wherever you decided to meet at. Most likely the brothers Broxton will be there. Guard check, that works.
Okay.
Just take it on over to the guard. Anybody who isn't on the guard map, let's look.
I'm installing graphics drivers. When it's not going through GeForce Experience, it takes 400 fucking years, by the way.
We're missing
very black.
Brelin and Karg. Okay.
Yeah, I had black screen.
Sorry, we have to go look at a fucking totally different, non-related adventure map to find those two idiots.
Yeah.
Can't
it's a
imagine why
wrong
that
map.
would be.
It's a wrong map too, because literally there's a building there when there's not supposed to be.
Yeah, I don't know who did that map wrong.
I'm gonna need that updated, DM.
Grab them. Bring them back. Is Favron here? Favron's here.
Oh god. Everything went black.
Hey, there's a bunch of corpses here.
She's already back. I don't know why she's here. Get her
Have
out.
mommy open it.
There weren't corpses here last time I was here. What happened?
There weren't corpses here last time you were here. That should be everybody, right? Yep, that's everybody.
Now we're missing Lorian.
Fuck off.
Sorry, that took me a hot second to get that.
It was a slow load.
JD, my favorite thing about your game is when it spawns Pokemon inside a tiny crevice of my house and they die.
And you hear them say the name over and over and over. It's
Starly. When you were calling me a slow load, a Slowpoke was dying in my house.
Okay, everybody should be on this map now.
Yep, I see things.
I hear their tails sell for a lot, so you should have got that.
Yeah,
So, quick recap of last time. The party kind of got divided up. There was some discussion amongst the brothers Broxton and their reunion with some of the party members who decided to hold up there for the night, anticipating a return fire from those that were in the dig site. Brelin and Karg, along with Lolo, Afelda Lolo, actually went back to Quartz. During the night, the guard post was attacked by a woman and her Bodak entourage. Thankfully, through some quick spell work between Calvin and Jax, the Bodaks were more or less rendered useless, and she was completely rendered useless as an archer who was entirely walled off by Calvin. After surviving that fight, there was some discussion about what would happen and what they wanted to do going forward. While that was happening that night, Karg and Brelin at the Quartz Laboring Guild were met by a
dickhead
man calling himself the Lord of Blood, who attempted to parlay for Afelda Lolo. When he was denied, when he was denied, he, along with the woman he was with, decided to level the building.
He also tried to parlay for a little vampire man.
They did that with an immense amount of power, from what Brelin was able to determine through the spellcraft checks he made. that she did not use an earthquake or some other type of ability, stone to mud, something like that. She used limited wish, almost as if to flaunt the ability they had. One of the things that was noticed when they left is that Mayor Toddard, Mayor of Rizzard End, was following this Lord of Blood wherever he went when they left. Brelin attempted to stop the limited wish. He was met by 2 spells cleverly set up to stop any attempt to intervene. He then met up with Karg and Afelda, who had survived and not been assaulted during this. Before this encounter, Karg and Brelin were able to work through some spell work and through some very intense checks and the reality of what was happening, and degraft the Eldritch Horror from Afelda, and she was able to survive. Upon returning, she was reintroduced to her family, and thanked her saviors, not only Brown and Karg, but also the person who carried her out, Traducius Godwin. TG would go on to give her and her child money so that they could leave and get away from all of this and try and change their life, to which they were extremely grateful.
What a good guy.
We're going to pick up with, it has been 2 days. Brelin is just now going to be returned from courts. In that time, Jax has been able to use his abilities to legend lore. Brelin has used his abilities to get information, and the party will be meeting up at the guardhouse. So we'll pick up the morning, probably about 9-ish. Probably just got done eating when Brelin and his cohort appear outside the guardhouse.
One second.
Why is there a child in JD's house?
He's babysitting.
All right. So when I get back, I will send Anelia back home.
She'll leave.
And then I will go find the party. And are they all located in
Everybody
the zone?
seems to be here. Yeah, everybody's here. The brothers Broxton are both here. They will have been eating dinner. There are some dwarves that are here. If you are in the side buildings that are collected up, it is an early morning, or eating breakfast, I guess. But all the party members should be here.
Okay. I'm going to come in the building and just kind of nod to the dwarven hosts, and then turn to the party, and I will say, I believe we need to have a meeting of the Sons of Plunder in private. It's pertaining to guild business.
They cleared out the jailhouse. We could go inside the actual jailhouse and have a pretty secure conversation, probably.
That's true.
At this time, Calders will stand up. Guild business shouldn't be taking place in a jailhouse. We have rounds to make and people to interact with and check on this morning. We'll get to work. Tordred looks up, confused, mouthful of food. Fuck you mean? He grabs his flagon, drinks it heavily, puts it down, takes a piece of bread, and just scoops up the food on the plate in a hand and puts it in there. Guess we're leaving then. And starts eating it. As he walks out, Caldris will nod to you and say, it'll probably be about noon when we get back from our rounds. You should have plenty of time to talk. And they'll leave.
Okay.
All right.
I'll nod in appreciation. Once
Then
go
I'll go ahead
James.
and cast. We'll go ahead and cast False Vision.
Okay. Cool.
And
your
I'll
false
just make
vision?
it that it's the normal breakfast eating.
Okay.
Like we're all just sitting down and eating and I don't know, brooding. I'm brooding.
We're brooding.
Brooding. That makes sense for this group. Shit.
All right. Once the house has been cleared and he's got his spell up, I will say, so for the guild business, the Quartz Governing Guild has been sunk beneath the sands of Quartz, due to that being where Karg and I were holding up. I'm sure you were made aware of this. So I have suggested that the Sons might be able to resolve this and help remedy this. I am obviously not the guild leader, so I have no executive power here. It needs to be decided whether or not the guild as a whole is willing to provide the manpower to help recover some of the records that have been buried beneath the sands.
Is this as a result of helping Nefelda?
It is, yes.
Okay, I'll back you.
You sunk a building.
Yeah.
I did not sink that building.
So what
Somebody
exactly
else sunk it
happened to
because I
this?
was there.
Yeah. So what happened?
Someone came in pursuit, not of Afelda, but of the vampire.
Yeah, what's the name? Who's that person that pursued you?
I'll get to that in a moment. I wanted to get this discussion off the table first. I have additional information regarding that individual.
Okay.
I just want to get this business out of hand first because I feel like it'll be the shorter discussion.
Well, I guess we need. What kind of money are we talking about?
My guess,
where's our
Manpower, he said.
treasurer?
He said manpower.
My estimation is because of the amount of labor that will be required, it will drain the funds. Well, not drain the funds. It will negate any sort of profits gained for 1 month from the guild.
I was really looking forward to building a greenhouse, and you're telling me I can't.
Well,
we're going to be building a house. Probably.
What's left of there in Quartz? I mean, they're still going to. The governing body still holds power, right? They just have ruins for their building, right?
They have no building.
So, I mean, I think in helping them, probably will add favor on our name.
I think what it will do is it will avoid disfavor.
Well,
if the,
but
I will state
that
the guild is not. I will state that the guild as a whole does not have to do this. If you guys decide not to, I will come up with a means because it was my actions that caused the sinking of the building.
I don't think you need to just shoulder this entire burden. If you made any deals, I think it was for the good of everybody and not just yourself.
I have not made any official bargains in the name of the guild with the governing guild at this time. Once we make a decision, I will inform Adnelia, and Adnelia will deliver our offer to the governing guild.
Well, I think what are guilds for if not to help their guild members? Brelin's one of the founding members. He's done untold numbers for the guild. So in my opinion, it's the least that the guild can do.
He's also why we didn't have to deal with that vampire, which is why they chased him. So.
Well, a month of funds for one vampire's life, I don't know if that equals, but I still, it doesn't change my mind.
As long as we only deal with one vampire per month, you should be
If that's the guild's decision, I will
we
inform
can
Amelia.
take a vote if we need.
I'm okay with it, but I'm in strong favor of building a greenhouse as soon as we have available funds.
I will mark that as a priority in my treasury notes.
And on a side note, I need to speak with your business manager after all of this is done, if that's possible.
I can arrange it.
The guild's not technically making no money because the bearded knuckle is still making 34 gold a day.
There you go.
Hell yeah.
That probably pays for food. That's probably more than pays for food
I
for
mean,
our
we're
labor.
still running.
The black market's still got some income that I could toss in if we needed to supply our guards and stuff with shit as well.
All right. Well, are there any who are opposed to this?
Yeah, I think that's the important question here.
No.
Well,
It
there's a
is
couple people
important
who haven't
that
really
we
spoke up.
maintain. Yeah, it is important we maintain the relations. It's a good idea.
Any opposed to say something now?
Or forever hold your peace.
I'm not opposed.
Well, isn't it? If anybody was gonna be opposed, it was me, the money Jew, the loot Jew.
Think about the loot you
Nah,
didn't get
we
from
know
a
you're
vampire.
gonna get your when it comes back.
Okay, now that we've settled on that, who is this? We had a very mean woman show up here, and she called out someone's name. Someone sent her.
Yes, I believe that individual was probably Yadri.
Yadri, that's what she said. Yes.
So
She was
before we
working
get
on
too
behalf
far-
of him.
Yep. So before we get too far on that, guild business settled. Where's the child?
Yeah, I got him here somewhere, and I'll pull out my bag. I guess.
Is this man about to pull a child out of his backpack?
I don't know exactly
And-
how this works because literally we all forgot about this child existing when this combat started.
If you think I forgot, you're mistaken.
Then where was the child?
If you think I cared, you're
It's
also
actually
mistaken.
big. That kid got hit with a bunch of arrows.
Morales reaches into his bag and pulls out this amazingly screaming, purple-skinned, now jagged-toothed, long-eared, bright yellow-eyed child. But when you guys put it in there, it was a newborn.
I'll
When he
hand
pulls
it
it out,
immediately to Brelin when I see it.
this is like a kindergartner-sized child when he pulls it out now. And it is, when you pull it out, it immediately takes an attack at you, trying to bite you.
Okay, what do I roll? Reflex?
No, it's
AC?
gonna roll to hit you.
It's your AC.
14, and it bites, and it like hits like a piece of leather, and like you're just like, what the fuck is this thing doing?
Can I flick
As
it in its head?
I mean, yeah, you can. You just,
Okay.
and it,
You're
and
an
it
adult. It's a baby.
screams
You can
and,
do what you want.
and
No,
squirms
that's not
and
the one. That's the one.
yeah,
I
and you, I
flip
mean,
it.
you flip it in its head.
Cut it out.
Squirms and screams and then glares up at you. And as it glares up, some light from the window hits it, and it shrieks in pain and closes its eyes and covers its face.
I'll take it from Realis as he passes it over to me, and I'm obviously, with it being a struggling thing now, I'm gonna like manage it with care. I'll roll a grapple if I have to keep this thing in wraps.
Yeah, for sure. If you're wanting to like switch hands to somebody new, you're gonna need to roll a CMB to try and grab it, because it's frantic.
Okay.
Favorite, I believe you were here for the session we found the child.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
21.
Yeah, and you're able to grab onto it, and it's kicking and screaming, and you've got it at your arm's distance. Just no.
I'm so glad the hope of the future is embodied in this innocent, harmless being.
So, now that I have the child in hand, the sinking of the governing hall was not entirely without some benefit to us. The vampire in question goes by the name of Yadri Silencia. I believe he is the leader or lord of this coven. He titles himself the Lord of Blood. He came not seeking the dwarf, who, by the way, is fine. She came back, I believe, so, after the surgeries. He was really looking for his vampire, who we acquired. I believe goes by the name of Rasputin. Apparently, Rasputin was a physician of some skill, working under the employ of Yadri.
Does anybody speak Abyssal?
I do.
I think
when you say Yadri, the baby hisses in Abyssal, Lord Silencia.
Okay. I'm just going to say in Abyssal back, you're going to make this very difficult to argue in your favor.
It is not a. It has like actual social speech structure. It's been in a bag. And it just, I mean, it glares up at you and hisses, and it's spitting now because it can't grab at you and bite at you. It's angry.
Okay.
Gotcha.
I am going to continue and say, after a brief conversation with Lord Yudri, I declined his generous offers, and in return, for not giving him his vampire back, he sunk the town hall. I delved through the vampire Rasputin's memory and got some answers to some things, such as the lady you met is probably one of his concubines, who I do not believe are vampires. I also met one. They go by the names of Evie and Adriana Silencia. I also found out that the reason that this Lord Vampire has been so enamored with finding a doctor is because he's trying to create a true blood vampire that was not undead and it needed to have a soul. I believe I unwillingly accomplished that. Looks down at the baby. Whenever I kept this thing from dying on the table after we took Rasputin.
Well, if it has a soul, it can be saved. I look at Karg and Cal.
I will say that given its alarming rate of speed and its maturation here, and the fact that it just hissed at me in Abyssal, which, for those who don't know, that is the language of demons.
I did hear that.
That it wanted me to refer to Yadri as Lord Yadri. There might already be some sort of tainting of the mind here. So, if you're hoping to do some sort of nurture over nature, it may be difficult. However, this will be a group decision, I believe, in what happens to this child.
So what's the potential for this thing causing mass chaos in whatever city that we're in?
Seems high.
And on top of that, where do we plan to keep/raise this whatever it is, if the intention is to take it under our wing? Is this going to be like your protege? Is this something we're going to raise in the name of the guild? Like, what's the full intention with it here?
I think there should be things that should be considered before this, such as if it's going to be attempted to be raised as a force of good or neutrality, then, or at least a force not chaotic in nature, there needs to be some sort of way to contain it, punish it for bad behavior, like you would a dog, or I guess another child. And should things go awry, there needs to be a plan to be able to euthanize it before it attains a power level too great for us to handle.
See, it sounded pretty slavey to me as it stands.
Can we hire a boat and keep it out at sea?
I don't know how much that would do us any good, considering if it has anything of the abilities of a standard vampire, it can fly.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not opposed to trying to do the right thing here, but at the same time, at what point are we keeping this thing our slave? Because I'm not really on board with that.
I did not infer slavery. I was attempting to confer the level of discipline and facilities required in order to safely raise the being, to rear it, as it were.
We'd have to wait at least some months before we would have facilities to accommodate a potentially hyper-powerful demonic being.
We may not have that time. It's been alive for what, 2 or 3 days, and it's already past an infantile stage, moving into toddler stage of its maturity.
And this is why I'm saying it's getting real slavey real quick, because we'd likely have to restrain it and
I
kind
have
of
no moral
drag it along
compunctions
with
one way or
us.
another.
Yeah, but you want to kill a child? A demonic, evil child?
I wouldn't say it's warranted anything that requires death at this point, but it's definitely on the option of the table. Like, if this thing is capable of, say we leave it here and we continue on and it just murders this whole town, we could have prevented that, right? Like, in that scenario, I'm not opposed, but I'm also on board to see where it goes. But we need a clear plan that's not putting this thing into slavery.
What do you do with rabid dog?
Euthanasia.
I can, when it becomes fully grown, I can hit it with enervation, and somebody else can hit it with permanence.
What?
Just gimp it.
Sorry, what did you say?
Enervation, and then somebody else hit it with permanence.
So you're basically saying we should lobotomize this thing?
No, just stun its growth for a little bit.
Well, so here's the problem with that. Just because it may not necessarily be undead and that it does have a soul does not mean that negative energy may not have a positive effect on it instead of a negative effect as it would on a standard living being. This being was created by forces of negative energy. It could have an affinity for that. It is not unheard of for living things to have
Brelin,
that.
as much as the technical explanation is interesting, we have to look at the practical implications of what people are trying to say. We're hearing suggestions of sedation or confinement or heavy monitoring. Whether or not we even have those capabilities, those are definitely resources that I'm not sure we necessarily want to dedicate to this problem.
It would be a full-time job for sure as well, because we can't just attempt to be rearing this thing and then leave it in the hands of someone else. I believe it would require the actual Sons of Plunder in case something went awry. I'm not supporting necessarily keeping it alive and trying to rear it. I have zero feelings one way or another regarding this thing, which is why I'm the one holding it while you guys make the decision.
Okay, so
Well, I
it
think
seemed to have survived fine in the bag, right?
I'm so shocked. You guys kept it in the bag.
Yeah, I'll make a heal check.
I would only support dispatching of the child if we did it
36
in a religious controlled way in the name
I'll
of the
assist.
Dawnflower.
You mean burn it?
That would be a way.
Okay, so two things really quick to interject in this. First off, heal check. Brelin, Calvin, Ryalis, between the combined of you, Karg to a lesser extent, you can tell that though this creature, this child, it has survived, it has not survived easily. It is very hungry. One of the reasons it's been biting people probably is trying to eat. It's clearly got some type of thirst. It has some wounds on it where it scratched itself maybe trying to get out.
It might have already gone crazy.
I will attempt to hand it a trail ration, and I'll grab a cup off one of the tables and pour some water into it and see if it's down with regular food.
You pour water in its mouth and it drinks it. But something else to note during this time. As you're collecting your water, Bellows stands up. He looks around. He's sniffing the air. Something's off. He stares for a moment. His eyes come back to the group. He kind of holds his head like something's really loud around him. And then he darts out of the guardhouse. And those of you that can see out of a window, Ryalis especially, since he has great vision, see him cut around to where a latrine is, and he plunges his head in and begins to drink
The
deeply.
latrine?
from a latrine.
Okay, so we're gonna give another perception check. We're gonna walk out to him as I see this happen, and I want to see if any of the telltale signs of this already my paranoia that he's gonna turn into a fucking vampire. If any of those things that I know that have been listed off have progressed further.
Some things to note about Bellows: he's starting to get strands of gray hair. His skin is starting to lighten, and again, he has this odd behavior of being so thirsty that he cannot resist drinking from a source. As he finishes drinking, he sits up, his face covered in putrid but water. He looks at you, and for a moment, with that 55 perception, you see a glint of kind of like a red shift into his eyes, and they go back to their normal brown color.
I will pull my bow out, but not knock an arrow, and I will hold it tightly, and I will say, "Are you doing all right?"
Bellows, you're in full control of your body. You can respond.
I feel better now, but there's something wrong. Definitely, that about 10 seconds ago, you would have needed that bow, I'm sure. It took everything I can, all my constitution, not to. I don't want to talk about it. I need to go find.
I saw your ass rolling dice.
Oh, it wasn't that. That was something different. But Lord, no. Anyways, I need to go. So Bellows doesn't know that, like, the way he's feeling. Maybe by now it's starting to click a little bit.
Bellows has, you've been around enough people talking about what you guys are dealing with. Bellows, not like a grad student, but he's not dumb. Like, he has all the telltale, like, old common backwoods folklore mythos signs of vampirism.
So, but I would say from his perspective, he doesn't know that, or doesn't believe that immediately there's anybody in the party that could help him with what he's experiencing.
I mean, you definitely have that belief, right? I mean, you know that Calvin's a great faith healer. You know that, I mean, quite literally a professional faith healer. You know that Karg is a great man of faith. And you know, without faith, fucking Brelin does a lot of crazy surgical shit. I mean, it's not hard to believe there are people in the party that you think could help you.
Yeah, Brelin's not putting me in a jar.
So how many? I guess I'll whistle for the party at the point that I have this small conversation with John and say, I think we come outside and have the conversation.
I don't know.
And the child?
Why doesn't he just come back in here and like?
I mean, I don't know if you know this about Bellows, but he has a very large axe, and this seems like a pretty small room. And I think we should.
The scar on Morales' chest just throbbing in pain.
I think we should have this discussion outside.
You know, I will tell you from Bellows' perspective, though, he will just say that he's not. The attack that that you would have succumbed to would not have been with an axe.
He wants to eat me, it seems.
He wants to eat me.
No, there's a thirst. It's a thirst.
You're a merchant of blood.
But it's a thirst. It has nothing to do with wanting to do something to you guys. It's more of a uncontrollable desire to drink.
You know what? Jack's just put it together. You're the merchant of blood. The man wants to buy some blood.
Sorry. I mean, I literally just drank from a latrine versus. I promise you, the urge was there to.
So we think he's all right. I'll slowly back my way towards Favron, and I'll go up to Favron and I'll say, "Hey, do you still have a vial of blood by chance?"
Oh, it's freaking demon blood! Don't give that to him! No! I'm shutting this down.
Hey, look, we're just gonna open it and see if maybe.
No!
If there's a temptation, we can close it. But if there's a temptation from him, then that gives us more.
I need a knowledge check here.
20 strength. That sounds.
I'm not sure what's Jack so worked up in here? What would demon blood?
From your knowledge religion and probably knowledge planes too, I mean, vampires historically draw their natural strength from taking the blood of mortals. And from what the party has learned about the Scarlet Sanctum, one of the things that the undead here are doing is that if it comes from a different type of blood source, such as like a strong outsider, it becomes more prominent and a stronger thing. So Jax is worried that whatever vampire has been created through the Scarlet Sanctum might also have been the one that bit Bellows, and thus could be affected by different types of blood.
Right.
So you're saying he could
Jax,
get a power
Jax
upgrade?
offers, or not Jax. Rylus offers. I pull out a blood, and I think for a moment, right? And
where are you holding it?
No, I don't pull anything out. As he says something to me, I think, right, my couple
He's
knowledge checks.
verbalizing his thought.
I think quietly to myself for a second without answering. Rylus, I think Devil's Blood will only make it worse, and probably it will overcome him and probably escalate.
All right.
Out of control.
Hang on. I got an idea. TG, can you everyone walk back in the building? Walk. Hey, Jax. No, look, we're doing this. Everyone back in the building. TG, could you stand in the doorway real quick? Would you mind doing that for us?
He went to the bathroom, but sure, he'll stand in the door.
What is this? What is this?
Kilgore, I hand him a sharp arrow, and I say, we're going to cut your palm. You ready for this, brother?
Okay.
I have the symbol of sanguine protection. We'll figure it out right now.
Sanguine protection. Jax is immediately going to use an ability.
Okay.
He's going to start entangling people. The Rylus' shadow and Kilgore's shadow leap out around them and grapple them and pull them back.
Okay, what's the check for that?
No.
Kilgore says no, and Ether steps away. What is the check?
He's ether now.
Darkness?
That's a good question.
I want one.
Yeah, I want to check.
I mean, I'll stop what I'm doing. But...
Probably a saving throw, but let me check.
You know, Card can always just, activate a little stigmata, too. We need to get bloody in this bitch.
I mean, so here's the deal, right?
What happens next time I just activate it in a fight? Is John just going to turn around and just sucker fuck me in the butt?
You don't know.
So some things to note that...
Play this out.
That Kilgore would know about his symbol is that he can always draw a vial of his own blood for a d6 points of damage. It is a flask of holy water, but it is still blood.
Holy water. That's interesting.
Also, apparently, Brelin says, skip testing, let me go straight to fixing it.
So you can fix this vampire issue?
I don't see why not. I committed surgery on a woman with an outer being attached to her.
I like that you say committed rather than performed.
Well, out of respect for Bellows here, though, he said you weren't touching him.
Well,
all right. Well, if that's the case, you guys can figure it out. I won't be around to find out what happens then. I'll walk away.
Look, I'm cool with you trying to help out Bellows, but we need to figure it out one way or another.
If you're walking away, where's the child?
With me.
Here, it's a 29, the AC 29 touch attack.
You can't take my fellow party member away from me.
Okay, so those of you that were inside around for this conversation, if your touch AC is 29 or under, for one turn you are entangled and grappled. As Jack, in a panic when this conversation started, immediately pulls up the shadows of his allies and binds them in hopes that we can have a conversation about this. Those of you that are above 29, your shadow grabs you and like Peter Pan, you kind of just slap it away.
Okay, so I have a question here because I'm not too thrilled that Jax just shadow held me. Does that like lock me from doing any kind of actions, or does that just hold me in place?
For 6 seconds, you're grappled. You just can't move.
All right, I'm gonna shoot him with a bola arrow.
Okay.
Oh my god.
So let's see. That's this one.
Okay,
FFA
43
right
hit.
here, boys.
Roll your CMB with that.
And that gets a plus 13, I think. Let's see.
I believe that's what we settled on. I have to go look. But yeah.
I mean, I don't have a large CMB.
Plus 13. Yeah.
I mean, CMD. I don't have a large CMD.
So 28.
28.
Okay, so you wrap me up. All right, we're both
Yeah,
wrapped
I
up.
say I'm not too fucking happy with you stopping me from. I don't even have a fucking choice, and neither do you. Now we can talk. We're equal.
Okay, all right. We need to
when they start,
de-escalate.
no, before Favron even says anything. So once that happens, Karg hits you guys with the full-on dragon intimidate and just screams outward towards everyone being a shithead. Enough.
I don't think I make that. What do I have to roll to?
So you don't roll it. It depends on how much he beats it by. Which right now your character level is whatever your level is. So everybody should be 12.
Yeah.
So the DC is 12. Every 5 points what you beat it by, you can adjust their action. So he beats everybody by over 5. So everybody in the area who was aggressive in any way whatsoever. So it looks like Brelin not so much, but the rest of you that were aggressive, Karg flares up. For the most of the time when Karg does this intimidation thing, you guys see like this figment of a dragon, which is still there, but this time his scales start to darken in spots, and there's a heat that radiates off of him as he bellows this enough. And when he does, for a moment, it looks like ash and soot kind of push out away from him. And it leaves a little marking in his little 5-foot square he's standing in. And everybody is in a shaken state, if you would like. And if not shaken, they are now cooperative.
So there's a point of clarification here. So the question around
Cooperative.
that I had asked was to the DM as from what Bellows would feel, not something that he said out loud, such as Brelin touching him or anything like that. Like he didn't say that. That was his in his head, right? He's seen a little bit, but does he think that group is capable? Anybody in the parties? He doesn't have much of a rapport outside of TG and with Kyle's character, right? I mean, as far as like actually had some meaningful conversations there. So
something to
still
think about
feeling like
Bellows.
an outsider, right? Thinking through that. Does he feel like there's anybody here he could trust to help him with what's going on, which is something he's never experienced before?
Bellows has quite literally seen Karg resurrect 2 characters from point of death and rip them back into life.
Okay.
So he may not know if they're capable of helping him, but he is fully aware that when he's done that, Calvin has supported him, and he's seen Brelin do full on, now I have a brain in a jar surgery. So even though he may not want surgery,
out of him, right?
he's fully aware that Brelin has the ability to also do some type of surgical healing. But he's seen Karg reach into the void and pull party members back.
Sure. So, and that makes more sense to me, right? So, whereas Brelin might have done some cool things, they're never related with something that I can remember. Good. It's been, demons and autopsies and crap, right? Not the reference for what he's looking for isn't in that realm.
Right.
I guess is what I'm saying. Okay.
Yeah, so you've seen Karg do that, and you know that Calvin, like when you guys have downtime, Calvin moonlights as a faith healer. Like he legitimately goes through towns and like cures people's minor ailments for silver. He's people got like chicken pox, he's fixing that. Oh, you've got a bad cough, he fixes that. Toothache, I got you there. Like, so these are people that are capable of healing magic, and one of them, at least in Karg, you've seen do a large amount of healing magic.
Okay.
So since Angry Boy here has intimidated us all,
everybody's in a state of cooperative.
I think we're talking a lot of physical remedies here, but have we thought about any mental remedies, right? Maybe Calvin or Karg, maybe one of you guys can help him beat this with his willpower or his fortitude, right?
That sounds like a great idea. Let's do that.
Well, it would be the willpower of the Dawnflower more than yourself.
So I think that. So from Bellows would just say, honestly, I think we have he's frustrated, right? And so he he agrees that something's not going right, but he would really like confirmation that he's actually being subject to what the group is saying.
The blood's the confirmation.
And I don't, and he, where I was getting at is I don't think that he would actually have a problem with a test if he could be properly, I don't know, I wouldn't say restrained, but, you know, preventing from hurting folks. Because he understood the urge, right? So he
I
felt
do.
the urge, but he knows that they don't have water in them, right? So
I do want to point out. I do want to point out that if there's nothing wrong with you, break enchantment, remove curse, all that stuff will do nothing. And if there is something wrong with you, it can do nothing but help.
Sure.
And if you continue to feel this way after that process, then we'll just have to explore more options.
Yeah, I've seen this thing where there's this flask that never runs out of water. It doesn't have latrine water in it. Does anybody got one of those? That's really what I need.
Decanter of endless water? I don't think so.
It's 5e item. I don't think they have it in Pathfinder.
No, it exists in Pathfinder.
No.
Yeah, it 100% does. I mean, so something Kilgore brought up that he knows is that he can pull a vial of blood, and also, if one of the things that we wanted to go so far, he knows about his symbol of sanguine protection is, if he gets bit, it will hurt the vampire. It won't hurt him.
If I feel my teeth, do they feel? That's a reference.
Oh, they definitely have some bite to them.
Brelin pulls out the decanter of endless water that's in party loot, hands it to Bellows.
I'm pretty sure we had
Holy
one.
crap! I didn't know we had one. That's awesome.
We do.
Isn't there
I'll
some
watch
sort
the
of
map,
threshold
I'm
where
not
there's
that.
no going back for a vampire?
So, rules as written,
DM
vampirism in Pathfinder is basically dog shit.
Yeah,
Like,
it's at the DM's discretion for all
yeah,
of this.
there's no rules around what vampirism is. There's not even rules on how you contract it. It just kind of exists in the world.
If you actually go off the rule, if you go actually off vampire, you're automatically evil, which that doesn't make a ton of sense either when you think about someone like that's NG, for example, training as a vampire, just because of the physical changes there and the fact that they have the thirst, that doesn't necessarily make them evil.
Yeah, it goes off that goes off like the moral spectrum of when you start drinking blood, it's a natural evil act. I think is what they're going for there. But anyway, so rules as written, vampirism is kind of fucked. Like, there's not a lot of deep rules as written for Pathfinder on vampirism. That being said, you can make a knowledge religion check or a knowledge history check or something like that if you would like to try and figure out if there's a no going back for vampirism.
Blaine will pull out his sheet.
29, 27, 32. So if you guys' powers combined, you guys start thinking about it, and Brelin and Karg and Jax kind of bounce ideas off each other of things you guys have read over time and come to the kind of the conclusion of that vampirism isn't prominent enough in y'all for you guys to really have much on it. But when you were in Galarian, things you knew from there and what you learned while you were there is that there's not really a no going back per se, but once they are fully turned, the going back becomes much harder. It is a situation where you would need remove curse, break enchantment, remove disease. And I think it's actually break enchantment, remove curse, remove disease. I have to go see how I wrote it down. Yeah, break enchantment, remove curse, remove disease. So there's not that there's a no going back, but if there is a way, and there's no real way to stop it once it happens. It's just how long can the person who contracts it fight off the urge?
Well,
and it becomes progressively harder.
Well, okay. I'll admit my main concern is that the moment he takes blood for the first time, there's no going back. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not a risk taker. You guys want to take that risk? Fine. I'll sit in the back while you do it. I think it's easier to just inoculate him now while he's still amiable.
I've been cut by this man quite a few times.
But besides the urge,
Well,
is there any negatives that
yeah,
they
so
know of?
what does Bellows want?
I mean, currently, Bellows, once you sated your thirst, you feel like a normal day. Like you're okay.
Someone that's been based on their whatever. They're
Oh,
negative. So what has happened to someone?
I
That has
mean,
transitioned
once you do
besides
the
that
full change, you will be an undead. You'll have all the vulnerabilities to lights. You'll have a need to drink to sustain yourself. Normal food and things like that won't work anymore. You'll have an aversion to religious symbols. You'll have an aversion to silver. You will get bonuses. You will get stronger. You will get faster. You will get more hardy. You will get, oddly enough, better looking.
already gorgeous.
There are bonuses. There are major drawbacks. You will get to the point where if you hit somebody, you can quite literally take their life force from them.
Well, he's already hit me and took my life force a couple times.
I'm convinced. Let's all become vampires.
Well, you've convinced me.
Doesn't sound in line with the Dawnflower.
No, but he's as a predominantly spent a lot of time sailing, being outside. That's important to him. So he wouldn't like the idea of not. That's a game changer for him right there.
Hey, look, there's a lot to be said about night sailing. Okay.
Yeah, well,
Very
so
romantic.
Here's my thing with this. If we cast all these spells on him and we don't know if it succeeded because we don't know if he's a vampire and we won't know if we failed.
There's a real easy way to figure that out. Sounds like.
Yeah, I'm pulling an arrow. I'm still standing behind TG.
I gotta tell you, sounds like Ryalis just wants to see some chaos.
Hey, man,
I'm pulling my arrow out and slicing my hand.
Bellows, dude.
I pull my arrow out and I slice my hand open.
Bellows, make me a will save.
Why can't you pick something different?
Oh, this is good.
Is this against a mind controlling effect?
Can I get a will save, please?
No, you can't.
No, I don't know where it is, bud.
Oh, that's gonna be terrible.
We're getting to the bottom of this. Rylus is not pussyfooting around. I'm not gonna wait into the middle of combat and find out this motherfucker's thirsty and he just fucking cuts me up.
It's not bad.
Bellows, you're like, we got one way to fix this, and Rouse is like, yeah, I agree. Slice his hand open. Immediately, the smell overcomes you. Your mouth starts watering. That thirst that you just quenched, it's like you haven't drank anything at all. It almost feels like your mouth is now getting dry. It needs water so bad. As you look around, you can spot it. There it is. It almost looks like the rest of the world goes black and white for a moment as this vibrant red starts to pour out of Ryalis' hand. You immediately charge him. If anybody's between Bellows and Ryalis, if they'd like to make an attack of opportunity, they can. If you'd like to substitute your attack of opportunity with a CMB, I'll allow that to try and grapple him.
I trip him?
Yeah, you can try and
Can
trip
I
him.
binding darkness instead?
If you were
throw the
prepping
baby
for this,
at him.
I'll allow that.
He was prepping for getting up off the fucking floor.
Okay.
I already acrobaticsed up and reflexed out.
Have to trip.
What is your CMD, Bellows?
32.
32. So, Bellows, you take off running. You are going to get to this source. As you start running, TG trips you up. As your body's in the air, your shadow reaches up and rips you and holds you to the ground. And you anger and a need pour over you. Make another will save the following turn.
Oh, it's even better.
Great. Now you guys are just triggering him.
21. The 21 for a turn, you are in control of your right mind. You know what's wrong. You're still thirsty. You can still feel it, but you know what's happening. You have a round to do what you would like. The grapple from the shadows only lasts a turn, so you're not grappled anymore. You are laying down.
So two things. I'm gonna say, I'm guessing I still have the decanter nearby.
Yeah, I mean, I think Brelin gave it to you.
Yeah, so I'm gonna look at Rallis and be like, "Stop!" and then I'm just gonna try to just quench this by just drinking a bunch of water.
It
Whatever,
doesn't
full round of
help.
water. Okay.
And you pour it, and you're drinking for 6 seconds. Water, like a small a pretty heavy spring, is flowing into your mouth. It's all over your face, your body, and as the turn ends, it's almost gotten worse.
Okay.
Make a will save.
Do I get an action in any
Yeah.
of this turn?
Yeah, I apologize.
Okay,
You
yeah.
have a turn. Yeah, go ahead.
I'll tear a
terrible.
piece of my my shirt,
Mhm.
not my cloak, but my shirt, and I'll wrap my hand up as well as I can, and then grab my bow back.
You wrap your hand up on your turn as he cries out, "Stop!" At the end of his turn, Bellows now standing with that decanter. He's pouring water in his mouth. He kind of looks around. His eyes now flared a deep red as he drops the decanter to the ground and scopes the room. He can no longer see the blood. He reaches the first person close to him. TG, make a CMB Bellows against TG.
So you want me to roll CMB?
CMB, yep, you're going to try and grapple him.
34.
Oh God.
All right, hang on.
34.
That's what it's gotta be.
Okay.
Don't take this. I'm trying to see what the plus is to this. Oh yeah, this is gonna be okay.
Okay.
Oh, I definitely beat it.
Okay. So Bellows, you stand there, he drops it, you're looking around, TG, this is your friend, and he looks at the room, he's smelling, you guys lock eyes for a moment. Bellows grabs at you. You try with your Foucher as he's in distance to try and fend him off. You can't. He puts you in a bear hug and sinks into your neck and drinks deeply. And on the following turn, Bellows, you've returned to your normal mind. Your thirst sated.
These are the two people you don't want to become vampires.
Oh my God.
You are fine. You don't. No, TG. There's no save for you. You're hurting, but like, he doesn't drink enough to cause you any damage, and he doesn't. You don't feel anything like coursing through your body.
Sure, yeah. Of
The
course.
next turn, you guys can all have do whatever you want to do if you guys are still fighting. But Bellows, you almost are kind of like that when you eat too much at a meal, tired all of a sudden. You kind of fall back into one of the chairs, your stomach out, and you're just happy, like post-turkey Thanksgiving happy.
So I mean, I think the thirst should be gone, but mentally he's not going to be happy. Knowing he knows what he
No,
just did.
and after about 6 seconds, it sets in that like I shouldn't feel good about this.
Yeah, I'm just going to scream for card.
It's gonna set in right now because I'm punching him in the face with my gauntlet.
And I'll look at Brelin and say, "It's time to fix it."
Okay.
You've let it get a little too far, I believe. Brelin's just
No,
watching
I don't
while
think so.
while keeping the child in control.
I mean, you're sitting there, you're having your moment of like, holy fuck, I just did that. TG right across the nose, punches you right in the face, and you're like, yeah, I probably deserve that.
Are you satisfied now, Ryalis? Is this?
Well, yeah, we know for sure one way or another. Absolutely, I'm
How about you
satisfied.
just learn to trust the people who've been watching your back for several months?
I'm not untrusting. I just needed to know.
I pull Favor on over. Can you take a look at this? Does this look bad?
Ryalis, make a perception check.
Can't rely on Favor on for that.
Ryalis, make a percent. Oh, you sorry. 46. Favor and Ryalis, you guys look at him. I mean, he's been bit. A man has bit him.
You've had worse.
With your 46 perception, Ryalis, as you're kind of looking him over, at the corner of your eye, you catch there's about 8 dwarves outside the window, just like, what the fuck is going on in there?
Guild meeting.
Are these prominent dwarfs, or are these just normal guard
They're the
dwarfs?
guards. So
I
earlier
will
when you
say,
made your
please
check,
disperse. We've been given authority to hold a private meeting here.
When Ryalis says
make
that,
a diplomacy check.
I yell at the same thing in Dwarvish after Ryalis says that.
Oh yeah, I'll yell it in dwarvish as well. That's fine.
Make
Every bald man says go away.
Okay. TG, you want to make a diplomacy or intimidate?
Intimidate's a little bit likelier.
Okay.
Nope.
Oh,
not
no.
really. Never mind.
So
They're like, who the
Alice,
fuck
you're
is
like,
this
hey,
guy?
please disperse, and they're kind of like, yeah, get fucked, bud. There's a weird show in here. Kilgore stands up, all that arcane energy rolling off of him, and he's like, get out of here. And they're like, whoa, man, calm the fuck down. And TG's like, yeah, man, get out of here.
Okay.
And they're like, all right, get it, dude, we get it. And they kind of like go about their business back to what they were doing.
Okay, so I think we got it all settled here. So what? Let's talk Curious. Who?
I'm still calling for Card.
Yeah. Where's Calvin? Calvin's. Surely you should have some kind of expertise here.
There's 3
Ark,
lights
this
of
man's been
Sarenrae
bit.
in this building.
Look, Berlin still has a redemption. The kid, the scimitar, can do the trick. What happened to the kid? What we do?
I've got the
Braylon's
kid.
holding it.
Brelin's
Okay.
holding it about arm's distance from his body so it won't bite him.
Brelin's just been sitting in the corner this entire time watching the chaos unfold and just occasionally like shakes his head, holds the baby back when it thrashes, pulls it back in, shakes his head, holds the baby back.
Well, according to Sarah, anything that can't be redeemed as a scimitar solves
Okay.
that problem.
Well, I accept this. Do we deem this new life, this little child, as unredeemable?
Yep.
Well,
Because
it's quickly becoming not little.
hey, if that's the way we see it, then
That's
buy
what
the
Calvin sees it.
Dawnflower.
Brelin.
I'm just of the opinion that Bellows here is not even fully transformed into a vampire yet, and this is the damage he's. This is some pure, unholy demon god vampire spawn thing. I mean,
Yeah.
might be best to just snuff it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's 3 votes in
Bellows,
in,
we
in
can,
favor of scimitar to the child. What else? Who else?
I can tell you.
Well,
If he feels like
I
what
looked to
feel,
Karg. Where do you stand on this?
Well, I mean, if
Yeah, what the heck?
if my brother in Christ it seems to think it's a good idea, what's Brelin think? He's awfully quiet. He's just keeping this
I
thing
don't
at bay
think
here.
he's your brother in Christ.
I'm not sure that Brelin has the moral authority here.
Calvin's my
You don't
brother
think
in
Brelin
Christ.
is a follower of Sarenrae?
No, Calvin said.
Think of all the healing he's done, all the surgeries he's performed.
Calvin said, "Give it the chip chop." What's Brelin say?
Brelin
says it's a high cost of resources.
Brelin says, logistically speaking, I don't find it feasible to raise this in a manner that would be safe.
Yeah, I mean, how do we keep this thing under control while also fighting these things? Especially, we've seen, well, just hearing what this archer lady did to the party when we were gone, plus the power that Karg and Brelin have both seen from the other 2, feels like if they really want to take this thing from us, they're going to. Or at least put up a hell of a fight in the process. And if this is his ultimate goal, is to have one of these things, with the power we've already seen, we can only assume this is just going to make them even stronger. If that's his, like, literal main focus. So, the worst case scenario would be, obviously, him getting a hold of this thing. And if we can't reasonably keep it under control, because there's nothing to stop it just fighting us when we get in combat. And as we've already stated, there's no one we can really trust to confine it for us, really. And yeah, I mean, it's already, and again, another thing,
I'll just put it in my zoo.
It's literally, what, 2-3 days old or
That
whatever?
sounds a whole lot like slavery.
It's 2 to 3 days old. It's already, like, quadrupled in size, and it's speaking abysmal to its leader that it's never even met before, like, swearing allegiance to the thing. So, I mean, it's not looking even if redemption was possible, like, we basically would just have to stop the adventure to
Even if
even
it's
attempt.
possible, how much death is way there?
Because we can't continue the adventure and also try to redeem the thing. And if we don't, you know, what's to stop them from attacking us in this town? And she leveled the building. We didn't even see what he's capable of. We can assume he's the leader and stronger than the chick that literally leveled an entire building in 5 minutes. So,
I mean, the one thing that I agree with Saren Ray is primordial fire will probably solve.
It's from the sun.
So yeah, I mean, it's kind of.
I mean, I'm very anti hurting the children, but is this thing even a child? Like, sure, it's newly born, but
It
could
won't
we
be a
even
child in a few hours.
consider this thing a child anyway from the get-go? I mean, it's still thrashing about over there in Breland's hands.
Okay, I'm not hearing any opposed to let's just rid the world of this little spawn.
I'm moderately opposed, but I don't see any logical alternatives.
BG is opposed. He thinks it should achieve redemption.
I gotta tell you, my heart would
There's
be
a possibility
it has a
that's
soul.
going to happen.
It has a soul. It should be redeemable.
So what?
Not all things are redeemable.
But well, maybe that's true.
Is it evil?
It's a.
Hey, has anyone
badly.
checked? Is it evil?
That's not something I can do.
PG checks it for evil.
PG, can you detect evil? TG, I mean, it looks pretty fucked.
It looks pretty fucking evil from the outside. But then so does Karg, and look at him. Big softy.
That's a really fair argument. Karg looks pretty fucking evil.
It's a good point.
Karg's got to rest for a day if you want him to detect the evil.
Well, it does pose a risk if we bring it about with us and we get into an intense situation that we have to, put all of our focus onto whatever situation we're in.
Did you cast that, Calvin?
This thing attacks in the back.
You don't detect a strong presence of this fiendish, but there's definitely something from the outer planes attached to this creature.
I repeat that to the party.
So, are you saying that possibly you could cut him off from an evil corrupting influence and maybe it would save the child? Are you implying that?
I don't know how much.
This is so you did this last time when you looked at a Felda, and you saw that they were two separate entities, like they were grafted together. This is one entity. This creature is not two separate entities that are stuck in one spot. This is one entity on its own.
What if we get it really drunk and keep it really drunk?
What if, man?
I gotta tell you,
carry
Riles,
around in the
you've had a lot of ideas. I don't think that was the top of your ideas.
Back to the drawing board.
Okay, how do we subdue it? If we can't make a decision now, how do we... I got manacles. I mean, we understand that they
We are
get
not
extremely
keeping a
strong.
slave. If it comes to keeping a slave, I will kill it. I will kill it on the spot before we keep a slave, and you won't fucking stop me.
What's the difference between a captive and a slave?
We're not doing it. It's either gonna be we try to redeem this thing and it becomes a friendly good boy, or it's evil and it's bad and we put it out of its fucking misery.
It's not my beach house. Well, damn. That's the rock in the hard spot. Is what that is.
We're dealing with this, but we're also dealing with a man who is in a very uncomfortable position who just drank blood from another one of our party members.
The longer we sit here and discuss the life of this thing, only the sooner that
All right. I'll interject here. Show me on one hand what's the potential good for this, and show me on the other hand what's the potential bad for this.
It kills us all.
It kills us all. Does it stop with just us all? If it kills us all, okay. So there's a huge pile of holy fucking shit in this hand, and what's the balance in this hand that we're weighing the scales of fate here? What good can this provide?
Jax finishes his cigarette. He's calmed down. He walks back inside. He's like, listen, this creature is loyal to Yadri, right? What if we kill Yadri?
Where do we store it in the meantime? I'm cool.
I don't know.
I'm cool with temporarily, if we think this is gonna work, imprisoning this thing temporarily. But if it doesn't work,
I gotta tell you, Jax's idea is pretty solid.
Don't we have a jail cell back at the guild hall?
Don't we have what?
Don't we have a jail cell back at the guild hall?
I'm strongly opposed to this thing that could potentially turn into vaporous mist being anywhere near our guild hall with all of our employees, our workers, and our children.
That's a risk. I tend to.
But yes, to answer your question, there was a room you could make into a jail.
I wasn't throwing that out there. Saying like, Bellows is still saying Karg.
Does anybody have any powerful mind controlling magic? Does nobody have mind controlling magic here?
Brelin looks at Kyle or Kilgore and says, I mean, it's worked on a vampire once before.
I mean, I can make it an idiot.
I open my quiver and show you all of my arrows.
Is there a way that we can subdue it with some temporary magic? We can deal with this leader, and then see where it goes from there.
So how long does that temporary magic last, and how long is it going to take us to deal with this leader? It's going to take us what, a day or so to get back to where we were in the mine?
All fine questions. We're playing out all the ideas here.
How old will it be in a day? How powerful will it get?
That's a great question. Anybody got a heal check?
I mean, I got one.
Alright, Blaine, 44 heal. How old's this thing gonna be in 24 hours?
4 days old.
So it's been 3 days. It's a kindergartner. So you figure in 24 hours, it'll be like a, I don't know, 8, 9-year-old.
It'll be as annoying as this.
No, it'll be worse, because then it has power.
It'll also be attacking you instead of just sitting there.
What was you said you had a heal check of what?
44.
44? It's also developing some things to think about. It's starting to develop glands that seem to secrete an acidic.
Glands aren't good.
Currently not big enough to do it right now, but it can. And it's not just developing them in the throat, it's also developing them under its wrists, where it will have it on its hands.
Oh god, it's acid Spider-Man.
Its hands are very strong from what you can tell, and they have a natural embedding, like it could start climbing things.
Kill it.
It also has a nub forming.
I regret that I'm gonna say this, but Brelin, do you think you could use any of this kind of stuff?
My God.
If it's gonna
hold on, does Faveron say "My God"?
Yes.
Brelin looks to Faveron and says, Faveron, in the academic community, stillbirth children, children born with defects, all of these have been submitted to scholars to study before, willingly by parents. It's not an immoral act. It might seem like it at first, but when you think about the potential good that could be provided by studying something such as this,
You've
now,
seen the potions that Breland's used. What potions could he make out of this shit?
Check its ID, see if it's an organ donor.
So another thing it's got forming on its back. It's starting to form what look to be like spots where tentacles will come out.
God bless it,
6
Blaine.
of them along its
Oh,
God bless
God.
it,
Can you just break its neck now?
It's
Come on.
Doc
This,
Ock and Spider-Man.
Brelin will
Kinda
say, I will assure you,
Whenever it,
however,
like, pulls its hands, they're not just back there to flail.
I will assure you, however,
It's a baby, man. Why are you doing that to a baby?
It's not a baby. It's a kindergartner.
I will not subject it to the jar treatment. You have my assurance of that. When it gets euthanized, it will be properly euthanized. I will not torture it. There will
Quick
be
and
no
painless.
cruel experiments on it.
Well, more than I expected.
More than anyone expected.
Well, listen,
I'm in public right now.
I don't know. I guess everybody said their arguments, and I stand in the middle. I would be fine with dispatching it in the name of the Dawnflower.
Well, then your no vote doesn't count.
Well,
for
then
anything.
you're a leader, so fucking figure it out.
Thank you for breaking my shit, kid. All right, leave. Get out of my desk.
Get out of my desk.
It smells of banana. Not good, dude.
Well,
You've
now,
heard
hold on.
everyone's complaints,
listen,
concerns.
as a leader, I can make a decision here, but I mean, it feels like we have a hung jury. Right?
Do we? I've heard maybe
hung
2
top.
people say that they were opposed, and everyone else said they were in favor.
I haven't said anything besides card.
Wait, hang on. Isn't that what I'm saying? That we're split.
That's not really split. We're a big party with 2 people saying.
Are you
no.
voting nay, Cotton? You said you're in the
We got
middle. so you
we got
abstain.
8 people right now. We have 2 nays, and I think like 4 yeses.
Two
And two abstains.
two to save it.
I am a double yes. I've been yes since day 0.
I was in favor of
Well,
saving it originally,
Cotton
but this
said he
thing looks like
abstained,
it is
not that he
more
voted
trouble
no.
and danger and
Well, then I think that because that we have party members at stake, we have.
I mean, why don't we just give it some of Ryalis's blood? He's free to give it away.
We have to make a decision, and we have to move on. And I
Oh,
think
it's
in
the
the name
baby
of the
reaction,
Dawnflower, we put this thing off of the earth. We save ourselves of being hunted. We save ourselves of.
wow, I
resources.
don't know if we save ourselves from being hunted.
Save ourselves from being hunted for additional reasons than we have already attracted to ourselves.
That's an additional reason murdering this man's child is probably an
we don't
additional
save
reason.
ourselves from being hunted. We save ourselves resources, and we save ourselves a hassle and a risk of something in our own party backstabbing us.
Fully agree.
To be fair, I'm pretty sure if he knew we had this thing, he would already be here. So,
The longer we dally.
Blaine. DM.
Yep.
Did the baby react to the blood?
No.
Didn't you already say he was speaking to someone in that phone earlier?
Me.
Well, then I think the time to stop. The time for
Let's get
talking
rid of
is
this
done,
guy.
and the time to act is now. Somebody restrain it, and Calvin put it away with a holy weapon, and then we can allow Brelin to store the remains for scientific research and possible benefits to the party at a later time. We have to address Bellows and possibly Traducius. I mean, I looked at his wound. I mean, but we have other things to deal with. Not to mention a whole goddamn compound of other problems.
I'll say something along the lines of return to the earth and back to nature with it, and I'll walk outside.
I'll help restrain it, and I'll look to Calvin.
You don't want me to do an attack on this thing.
I will take the scimitar from Calvin.
I don't even do enough damage.
Okay.
Brelin said he could.
It's a very
little
simple process. It is a. I mean, it's a kindergartner.
I don't
Okay, so
want.
hold it down.
I want it
and-
to be in the name of the Dawnflower, not just Brelin mindlessly murdering a being.
Hey, I have a mind.
I don't think he's mindlessly done anything.
You can torture it in the name of Zon-Kuthon if you want. Like,
I don't want that neither.
I'll just pay. I'll pray why Brelin does it, and
Okay.
sing.
And it's a relatively quick process. It's not. I mean, Brelin's been able to restrain this thing with relative ease. With a single swipe, it's a kindergartner. The head comes off, body goes limp. A baby is dead.
And we just
I will,
officially murdered a child.
Brelin will.
Kind of.
Brelin murdered
Child.
a child.
Kind of a child.
Yeah, here's the thing. Brelin has no issues here. Like, Brelin will immediately start cleaning up the mess. He pulls out his alchemical supplies that are needed to properly, store a corpse. I'm gonna start working on the preserving process, staunching the blood flow, cauterizing that. I take both the head and the body, and I go through the whole process of getting them prepped for preservation.
okay, I will pose at the. Sorry.
Hold on. For some reason I couldn't.
Is there anything we could use?
We'll take like 13 minutes to do that. And I'm sorry. What was your question, Calvin?
Is there anything we can gain from him to help Bellows and stuff? Like you said, they're both from the same vampire, essentially, right? No.
So yeah, so it's the vampire that worked on this creature is the vampire that infected Bellows, but this creature does not appear to have vampirism.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm.
I mean, I've definitely noticed that that Yadri is actually actively avoiding spreading vampirism. For whatever reason, whether it's easier for like living people to work on his behalf in the daylight, or if there's some other purpose, like he needs living people to operate certain things. I don't know, but it doesn't seem like he's just turning everybody in vampires for no reason. In the name of ceremony.
Another one.
A little bit more
Another one.
A little bit more somber than that, sir.
It's with inflection, not with excitement.
Once that has been taken care of, unless there's something else that needs to be said, Brelin will, after he stores the body away, and he says, now that that's been handled, I do have additional information that came from my sifting through Rasputin's mind.
2 hours later, by the way.
Hey,
13 minutes.
To the next one on the docket.
So, continuing on,
Does
after
anyone come outside and get me?
Oh, I thought you came back in. If nobody's gotten Realis, then I will send somebody to get you.
I actually walked out after I touched my card. I'll say to Alice, it's done for the greater good.
For Saren Ray!
For Saren Ray.
Alright, then I walk back inside.
Let's murder more children for Saren Ray.
As Realis is coming back in,
A lot of them back.
As Realis is coming back in, I'll call the Realis. You might have favor on step back inside. But there's more
Favor.
information.
We're doing some talking in here.
Yeah, no. We both come in.
Hey, Rune.
Okay. So.
Goddamn boy, you are dumb.
Aside from finding out that neither of his two concubines appear to be vampires, and aside from knowing what his intentions were with the physician, I've learned that Yadri shows normal vampire weaknesses. He does not appear to have anything that, super spectacular outside of those, aside from the following. The Silencias, and by that I mean his concubines and himself, appear to be immune to acid and electricity. Please write this down so I don't have to repeat myself mid-combat in a session or two.
You said
No.
concubines
And
Yes.
him.
and him. Acid,
And him.
electricity. Now wait a minute. Aren't vampires already resistant to cold as well?
I believe
Or
so.
undead, just the undead factor. But they should take damage from fire. But I remember everything we fought was also had fire resistance.
Bodax take full damage from cold, I'm pretty sure.
No, the Bodax took cold damage. You're right.
The Bodax did definitely took cold damage.
Damn it.
Do I
Alright.
recall, Blaine, about normal vampire energy resistances with my previous
Yeah,
check?
normal vampire resistances that you checked on are cold, I believe. Yeah, they are resistant to cold and electricity normally. You know that in the Coven, electricity has been immune to immunity, but the cold resist still remains.
Okay.
But fire. Alright. We can gear up fire against those guys.
They'll probably
Also-
just cast resist fire.
Also, Brelin turns to Karg and
Well, hit them harder.
turns to Karg and Calvin, says Yadri himself appears to be immune to positive energy. So if there's anything you had intended to do regarding him with positive energy,
Yeah.
that
what
will
the
have zero effect on him.
Shit.
That's moderately upsetting because I've been holding off on a secret weapon that I will have to hold off on some for now.
He's got two
Um,
wives.
Correct. The two wives aren't immune to it, but again, they don't appear to be undead or
I
vampires.
I suppose a smite would be positive energy, wouldn't it?
No.
No.
Is it non-typed?
Smite is considered, I think, just straight raw damage that bypasses damage reduction.
Yeah, I believe your Holy Smite's just raw damage. It has to say the words positive energy in it.
Right. So like cure spells are positive.
We're still in there.
Cure spells, channel energy, things like that.
I think I can do Sunbeam, and my other does Sonic.
Sunbeam is not positive energy; it's raw sunlight. So
Correct.
And
That's
it
what I'm
actually
saying. Most of
usually
my
does
damage-
more damage against undead, especially vampires.
Um,
Well, I get that once per day, so we better make it count.
Continuing
Better
on
make it
this,
count.
I've discovered that Foreman Cole Waldrox is the name of the Blood Shaper, and he was chosen because he was the only one to understand the language that was used.
I can shed some more light on that. The language you're talking about is the Anima Eternus.
That is a particular thing. I have learned that Cole Waldrox can manipulate the Scarlet Sanctum and is the sole conduit of something known as the Anima Eternus. The Anima Eternus is an ancient being that carries with it all the knowledge of blood shaping and Scarlet Sanctum creation. It appears even after being destroyed, almost like it's on a timer. It defies science. So even if we were to destroy this thing, like a law of nature, it would return somewhere else at some point in time.
Brelin, it seems like you and I have come up with a lot of information in our investigations.
Why have you not brought this forth sooner?
Because I believe we found this stuff out at the same time.
I see. Good enough for me.
So the Anima Eternus exists in the mine, right? What if we just kill everyone and collapse the mine? We don't destroy it, right?
That won't work at all. Did you know that the red ash when the undead die is remnant energy that is pure living essence?
I believe that to be the case.
Something to note, Jack. There is a contradiction to what you found and to what Brelin found about the Anima Eternus.
I believed it was a book.
You
right?
you found it was a book. He found it as an entity.
I believe Brelin's information more than my information is why I didn't bring it up. I believe that in my investigations, and I'll explain this to the party. My investigations more had to do with lore and hidden knowledge, but Brelin's information came straight from the source, so I'm more likely to believe it. Especially since you say you harvested the knowledge from our captive. I believe that it's very likely that he was unable to lie. Correct me if I'm wrong. the information I found was Anima Internus was a book stolen from the Vault of the Hoarder. I
Relin,
was
make
going
a
to
will
investigate.
Okay. $24.
Can you
He
roll
says-
above a 2?
I haven't rolled above 10 tonight, I don't think.
He says Vault of the Hoarder, and these familiar trailings of like prismatic energy kind of shuffle over your eyes from when you were reading books inside of the cauldron. And you know that though you are standing there and people are still talking to you, you are no longer with them, as a familiar voice comes behind you and says, "What we need to know is in that vault. Yadri knows where it's at. And the voice breaks, this feminine voice breaks, and for the first time in a long time, it's shrill and screechy, and it contorts as it talks, and it says, and we need to bring her back. And through your mind's eye flutter the words, the vial of everlasting rebirth.
I'm back.
Okay.
And then that prismatic energy floats away, and he's still talking. You're right back to where you were.
Okay.
Anyway, I believe that the truth lies somewhere in between our answers. If you say it's a living creature, then I'm inclined to believe you on that. As you're probably aware, a lot of the knowledge I gained is just from old tales. Some of it even came from Zahayan Elf.
Zahayan?
Zahayan Elf, who I believe was killed shortly after discovering a lot of stuff about the Coven, and the only reason the information was recovered is because they found his personal journal. Once the Coven had been repelled, defeated is probably an exaggeration.
Was this the same coven that they dealt with?
Yes, it's the same exact Coven. You say that the concubines or his wives aren't vampires. I believe you're correct. Does make me wonder what race they are. They're probably elves of some kind. There's also rumors that he can somehow lend his powers to his wives, and that might have something to do with why they've been able to stay with such youth for so long.
And why they also share his immunity to acid and electricity.
Yep. From what I can tell, I don't know to what extent the power is shared, but I think it's something he has to actively do.
What I'm hearing is we need to go back to the mine and snuff some people.
Couldn't we kill him first because they're all weaker?
Even more, apparently they can share that power between each other. The two wives.
Okay. Let me cover the last bits of information I have here. I learned that Cole and all who interact with the Anima Eternus eventually, over time, become slaves to it. And the final bit of information I have will directly affect how we can handle our confrontation with Yadri, because I'm assuming you all saw somewhat of what one of his wives can do in combat, while I've witnessed not necessarily what his other wife can do in combat. I have seen what she is capable of in general. What we have not seen is what Yadri can do, so I specifically sought out information about what he could present to us as a problem in combat. I learned that Yadri, whenever he decides to step into combat and deal with a foe personally, he uses strong necromancy and evocation magic. Probably not an entire surprise, but at least we know that he has strong spellcasting abilities. And I can tell you that the wife that I dealt with is also a powerful spellcaster by all appearances. She's the one who is able to reverse gravity, create a force field around herself, and then with a limited wish spell sink a building.
The one we encountered was is skilled or more skilled than me with a bow.
Just sniper arrows out of the sky.
You know, I would love to do that, but she was pretty on point with where they were going.
Okay. That's all the information I've acquired from our, or from the vampire that I acquired. So.
I have a couple more things that might be relevant, more into an extra player we haven't accounted for, as well as the possibility of the motivation of this happening recently. At first, when we encountered this, I believed it was just circumstance that, you know, they found this ancient burial site and released an ancient evil, right, due to their mining operations. But the last time this coven was encountered, there was a civil war, which we know is something that's actually occurring right now.
Mm-hmm.
And that they take advantage of the civil war to push their agenda. The second thing is there's another player referred to as the Collector that grants power to Yadri.
Okay.
Let's see. People that might Karg and Brelin. Knowledge religion checks.
I've heard the name before. Let's see what I can come up with this check though.
Sounded familiar, but I got nothing in the notes. Hey, that's
Good job, Karg.
36.
JD rolled a 6! 3 times his normal roll!
I think I sent something to somebody about this already, but let me check.
Some point tonight, I'll break 10.
Hey, you're getting them all the way before any type of combat. Now's the time to fail. Okay, it wasn't you. Maybe it was this person. Nope. Okay, so with the 36, Brelin, you've heard this name mentioned a few times by your feminine voice, and you can put it together that this is someone that is on the power level of what other people consider deities, and you consider figments of their imagination.
Okay. I will
regardless,
say, I believe this being to be a deity of some nature. What some would classify as a deity.
Or possibly a demonic entity, right? Something of that level.
Correct.
I guess demons is appropriate, right? Because they had a succubus under their employ.
Correct.
A succubus there, that's correct.
Also, the child spoke abyssal.
Right, that all adds up. Can't completely narrow down what this information means. It's something to be aware of. Naturally, the 80% solution now is better than the 100% solution a day late. We're just gonna have to work with what we have, I believe, because otherwise we're just giving our opponents too much time to act. I guess all I wanted to say is we shouldn't assume that Yadri is acting entirely independently. That's all I've got. Brelin covered most of the stuff I wanted to reveal. So,
well, I gotta tell you, you're talking about necromancy and evocation magic to, you know, give us some kind of leg up. But what are we gonna do about that? Does somebody have some energy resistance spells they can prepare? Does somebody have? Do we have time to purchase some energy resistant potions? Because I gotta tell you, having the information is great, but I flip open my spellbook. I got nothing in here to apply that information to, outside of pulling out my coin purse and purchasing something. You know, what are we gonna do with all of this information that Brelin has bestowed on us?
And Jax.
And Jax.
We know not to use electricity, cold.
Well, that's
or
nice.
acid.
That is nice. Though. Yes, that's true.
We have a vague idea of the number of enemies we're facing. We kind of know the significance of their level of strength.
Okay, well, I'm gonna look to Karg, Calvin, and shit, Kyle. What's your name?
Kilgore.
Kilgore. Karg, Calvin, and Kilgore. All my KKK clan over here.
Oh my god.
What spells can you guys prepare to negate necromancy or evocation?
I mean,
I don't prepare spells.
So yeah,
I can do protection from energy, but all I got was necromancy and evocation. I didn't get what type of evocation. So
That's all I was able to acquire as well. So
kind of just like a shot in the dark at that point.
How powerful are you guys'
I put my
magic
spells in
dispelling
damage.
capabilities?
So everybody's just aware of what I have.
Well, Kilgore definitely has dispelled some magic before. We've seen it happen in combat.
I just shoot the arrows.
Yes, Rylus. We all know. This is magic men talk here.
Who needs to worry about magic when you can just slap motherfuckers with hard metal?
Okay, dispel magic is just my level.
Here.
Let's see, what is it here? It's
You roll a check with d20 plus your caster level, and it goes against the DC of 11 plus the spell's
11.
caster level.
Okay. Well, I myself am going to prepare some magic dispelling capability, right? So I'll come prepared with that. Hopefully, there will be some benefits there.
I believe we should help Bellows first. We should help Bellows first. That's probably an extra day of downtime. I'm not happy about that, but right now he's a liability, and I don't want to leave him here. So we should help him.
I agree. We should. He's our friend and party member, and he just drank a man's blood.
Should probably also check out.
We were always going to help him.
TG.
The timing was the question.
Everyone looked me over. I'm good.
Okay. TG's good.
True. I did inspect the wound.
I actually feel better. I'm good. I'm not a liability, and I feel better.
Favron might be
I
good.
think that's what a liability would say.
Yeah.
Party loot. We've actually got some treasure we can hand out. I think we had like a ring of protection +3.
we have bracers of armor +3, amulet of natural armor +3, ring of protection +3, a +3 unholy adamantine sword cane. We have another ring of protection +3. We have a +2 expeditious rosewood armor.
I mean, the ring's what I'm
sorry, did I hear natural armor?
You guys are using +1s? Well, fine. Yeah. You can give me a +3, and I'll give you my +2, and then it'll work out, right?
Okay, Cotton.
I've taken significantly more damage than you have in these adventures in the past few months.
Want to compare damage, Rylus?
Oh, I'm not comparing to you. I'm just saying I've been cut and stabbed and shot by quite a few things.
What was the neck, Brelin? I'm sorry.
2
Amulet
+2
of natural armor +3.
Oh, 3.
That's what I thought.
I'm pretty sure I've taken more. I'm pretty sure I've taken more damage from party members than Jax has taken total.
Yeah, that's probably true for me as well.
And it's funny because when Jax joined the party, he was like unanimously hated.
And yet and that the party doesn't hurt me as much. Yeah, it's okay. Everyone made it clear they hate me, so I got to avoid it. You didn't hate me?
I've been almost cut in half several times.
Somehow still doesn't hate Bellows.
Well, he wasn't in his right mind.
Okay, but admittedly, Kilgore, you dying is like fucking Bellows going to like 75% health.
That's fair.
God damn. Gotta do the man like that.
No,
And he's wearing the
no,
skin of an
fishy.
angel.
I'm wearing beef
How
jerky.
much HP does Bellows have?
None of your business.
All right,
Finish.
I'm gonna
Let's
go down the
go.
list of items. If you want
let's
it,
blast
say
this
so. And then if there's a tie or more than one wants it, we'll roll. Braces of armor +3. Does anybody want it?
I can wear those, right?
So are those better than my shield bracers?
Damn, Kilgore.
Kilgore, you can wear them, but remember the shirt
armor
you're
bonus
wearing
strong.
gives armor.
Okay, so I don't need them.
Gives like a +9, I think.
These are an armor bonus, so they won't work for you either, Bellows.
Fine, I don't want them.
I'll take it. I don't wear armor.
Wow, look at this guy walking around without armor.
I do walk around without
Uncontested.
armor.
He free balls everywhere he goes.
Are you? So you don't have anything giving you an armor bonus there?
No,
Jax?
I've got a +2 armor bonus. This is +3.
All right. It sounds like this is uncontested for you, so you can take the braces of armor +3.
All right.
All right. We now have the amulet of natural armor +3.
+1.
Yeah, there we go.
I currently don't really have a next slot. I have an item that I thought I was going to use as a next slot, but
I'll sit out since I got an item. Okay, I'll sit out on the rest of the rolls.
That's
Okay.
very uncut.
Fucking
What
sound.
we roll on, or what I miss?
If you
Cotton would never.
if you want an amulet of natural armor +3, you will have to roll for it because there are currently 3 other people who have rolled, and looks like John's getting ready to roll as well.
It's 32.
Okay, so currently Favron is the highest with 81 on the amulet.
Nope, I don't need it.
Anybody else want to roll for it?
Anybody got? Is there +2 coming off somebody?
no, I have a summon level 1 water elemental necklace.
Alright.
Would you like to summon a level 1 water elemental?
Is it undead water elemental?
He's always thirsty. That might
it
actually
is.
come in handy.
I mean, it might help me actually.
Alright, so Favron,
America.
you get an amulet of natural armor +3.
Shitter.
That's
Alright. We now have we have 2 rings of protection +3. Brelin would like one of those. I have a ring of protection +2 that I'll put in if I win.
Is anybody rolling that has a +1 now?
Yeah, I have a +1.
Me.
I'm gonna roll then.
Nice, Kyle.
I'm glad I got that out of the way right now, because
So we've got, hold on, how many people have rolled here?
That's
4.
89 for me.
Oh, 5. Bob with a
Okay.
40.
So how are we doing this? We doing the people who rolled the 2 highest, or are we rolling separately for each one?
The 2 highest.
Okay. So far it looks like it's Realis and Calvin.
Nah, 89.
Oh, 89 for you? I lied. It's gonna be Bellows and Calvin.
I have a +2. I'll be putting back in.
Okay?
Same.
I'll roll on the +2.
I'll put another +2 back in.
Me too.
So we got 2 +2s going in. Alright, so there's 2 +2s. And card.
That's what I got the first time. Nice.
Realis, did you roll for a +2?
Yeah.
Okay, so everybody that wanted a +2 ring, have you rolled? Okay, so then the 2 +2 rings are gonna go to Realis and Karg.
Alright, I'll give you a +1 ring to sell, Selly boy.
Same.
Okay? I know everybody's got at least a +1, so I'll put those for sale. Then we've got a +3 unholy adamantine sword cane. I'm assuming nobody wants that. Okay.
You would only want the adamantine from it. But it's
No, we
probably
need
worth
that
more.
gold.
Is it a large weapon?
It is not large.
It's probably more beneficial to sell it.
Okay. The last item on the list is a +2 expeditious rosewood armor. So rosewood armor gives
wooden
what's
armor?
that?
Is that wooden armor?
It is considered technically made out of plants. The suit of leather armor is wrapped in special rose vines. Treat this leather armor with armor spikes. The vines must be watered with at least 1 gallon of water each day, or they wither and die, turning the armor into normal leather armor. The armor has a +2 armor bonus. With the +2 bonus, it makes it +4 total. It has a max dex bonus of +7. No armor check penalty.
As a no thanks from me, dog.
Sorry, it's only +6. I forgot Masterwork doesn't increase dex bonus. It just reduces armor check penalty. So it's okay. Expeditious. Let me see what Expeditious does.
Increase your overland?
It does. It increases your overland movement by you could summon 3 times per day as a swift action. You can summon a burst of speed out of the armor, which will give you a 10-foot bonus on all modes of movement for 1 round.
Rylas would be the only one that could probably use that, right?
No, I don't want to have to worry about watering it with a gallon of water. It fucking goes to a normal piece of leather, and it gives me less stats for some movement speed. No thanks.
You have an unlimited gallon jug of water.
Yeah, but I mean the buff is increased movement speed, and I'm a ranged ranger. It's not like might as well sell it. We're income free for the next month, so.
Why is that?
Well, because the building was sank, but we've already discussed that. So let's stack our cheddar, get these coins, and get to killing.
All right. So I'll mark those items as sell then. All right. Party loot's done.
Okay. What is the party's next thing they want to do?
Fix bellows.
Okay. How do we want to go about that? Well, the party can shit one and one the other for a level up.
Yeah, I could use a level up.
I believe that.
I could cast heal if we level
up. We can already cast heal.
True.
Brelin can cast heal, actually.
Person.
Sure
Once per day.
I was gonna say I don't have a fucking clue.
Okay, so what do we?
Well, Jax was of the opinion that we stay here for an extra day and try to help Bellows if at all
Is there
possible.
a holy man who knows anything about how
in
to
this
cure?
city? No, there's not.
I rolled a 7 on my heal check, so someone else is gonna have to tell me how to cure him.
Eugene's a man of the faith.
If you come over, he's gonna be like, feeling better actually.
Alvin, I mean, this is a process that you've probably heard about, where you're gonna have to go through multiple steps to try and solve this issue, but you know it's doable through spells like break enchantment, remove disease, or remove curse, or remove disease.
Sounds awfully familiar.
I'm a man of nature.
I'm a man of praying beside the person who's going to get the path follows.
Yeah, I wish you'd pray your own gateway.
Well, Ark's not even a man, so you guys are doing great.
Can I pray to the entity that raised me from the ground and spit goo out of my fucking lungs for an attempted information on how to stop vampires?
I mean, so there is some merit to just going and taking care of the coven now, while we feel like we have some initiative. The problem is Bellows is a slight liability. I think he's probably fine. I think he's probably fine.
I have an idea.
I trust him on a fundamental level.
Look, I trust him too, to an extent. He's cut me a few times, but
can his condition be exploited? And if so, we should deal with it.
So
She doesn't quite trust him.
Is it still the same day?
Yep, this is probably, you guys have probably been cussing, discussing, and doing your things now for probably the better part of 2 hours. Probably right at 11 o'clock.
Yeah, PM, right? Though, isn't this the day that
This is
we?
this is 11 a.m.
How about hear me out?
Okay.
Hear me
Morning
out.
after.
I want.
We
I
get
want to.
some blood from in town that doesn't belong to anyone in this party, and we keep it stored in a bag. So if Mean Man's eyes go red, we just toss him scraps.
No. So all you
Just
need to
find
do,
some blood.
I just look at Ryalis and be like, all you need to do is just you got your hunting ability. Just go kill some wild game.
You think that'll suffice? And I'll look to Brelin, who's got a bit more information on vampires so far.
Why is feeding his affliction our answer?
Because we don't have a fucking solution otherwise.
That's not a solution.
It's a band-aid.
It's like, oh my god, there's a fire. Let's add gas to it so it burns itself out faster.
No, that's like putting a water wall around the shit that's burning. We're not stopping the fire from burning. We're preventing it from going outward.
Let's throw more wood on this fire. That'll make it happy, and it won't burn us instead.
I will say I feel better.
Yeah, see? He fucking feels better.
You keep saying that, but your hair's still gray.
Hair does have some pretty good strings of gray going through it.
Looks good. He feels good. I think we're ready to go.
I will collect some blood from local wildlife if we need to. If this is a fallback, because the alternative is he attacks us and fucking starts drinking our blood in the middle of combat. And by your standard, fucking oh well. If it happens, it happens, because we should just stop him from doing it entirely. My solution is, if we're in the middle of a fight with some big, mean, bad motherfuckers, I'd rather him drink some fucking deer blood or something than fucking drink me.
Or we're in the middle of combat and this vampire lord goes, a new member of my family. I see you've already tasted some of my blessings. How about you help me and you can taste wonderful delights beyond your imagination?
Then use your little shadows and fucking pin him to the floor.
I hate to admit it, but the man's got a point.
So we're
Wait a day, cast the spells, and then see what happens.
we don't even know for sure what the spells are.
I do like JD's idea the most. He can just be Blade. Let's make him Blade.
There is a Daywalker spell.
Your mom's a Daywalker.
That level up.
You know, and actually, the voice in my head makes a good point. If Yadri's wives aren't vampires, then there's nothing actually preventing them from acting against us during the day, outside of convenience for themselves. We thought we were safe in the day because we're facing undead. We're not actually safe at any time of the day or in any place until we take care of this problem.
That's why I'm of the opinion that we just chug forward and fucking deal with it.
Real quick, DM. So in the knowledge, the communal knowledge that was just brought to the table around vampires and everything, was there any reference to a vampire being able to control other vampires?
You have personally witnessed vampires dominate other people. You've never seen a vampire do it to another vampire.
Okay.
But there's definitely those people in the party that have like an over 16 wisdom or intelligence could have a real fear of what someone who calls themselves the Lord of Blood could do to someone that could quote unquote be a part of his coven.
Someone that could what? Sorry?
Be part of his coven.
Okay. So more of a coven leader type approach. Okay.
We're in a real damned if we do, damned if we don't situation is what it feels like.
How about we just take out Bellows' teeth and we return them after the adventure's over?
I'm not capable of doing that, and he's got a big axe and some big muscles.
Haven't we already cast the spells required?
Hey,
We
Bellows.
just have to wait a day.
We put a muzzle on him.
Well, it's a
We
new
didn't steer
day.
vamp-
All the spellcasters should have all their spells that they haven't used during this roleplay time.
What's
Bells,
up,
can
Keith?
We didn't cure vampirism. We
ain't
got
got
the
Alright,
the
that one's on.
demonic entity out
Yeah,
of
but
a
wasn't
woman.
it the same 3 spells?
It's the same spells, yes. It's the same
Yeah.
exact spells they use to
Yeah.
cure.
Yeah, but in what order?
You just told us. I would be able to recall
So, those of you that rolled the checks, I believe Brelin made the highest one, do know the order. It's break enchantment, remove curse, remove disease.
Well, then I say we do it and get our rest going now so we can head out as quickly as possible. Because the longer we sit here in town, which granted it needs to happen in this situation, the longer we sit in town, the more time we have for power to show up.
I will just add that as it is now, as someone that normally goes in and helps lead in the attack, if we do this and then I get bit again and I have to go through this again, I'm gonna be really pissed. So
That's
why
your
don't we
own
just
fault.
use this to our advantage now?
It's Morbin time.
It's Morbin time.
I mean, I don't disagree with you, Bellows, but I'm not really too keen on the leader of the said coven, Yidri, being able to just dominate you because you exist within his realm of reality.
No, I understand that.
I'd rather you get bit again. I mean, you hit me with your big axe twice. I think you can handle some teeth once more.
And the reality is like the teeth, like, so how much? I didn't do a lot of damage to TG, right?
No, you didn't. You didn't do
Probably
enough to do
prefer
any
that
damage.
over me hit him with an axe all day, every day, right?
There's also this thought too, Bellows.
What was that about
It's
hitting
now
me up
been
with an axe?
almost a week since you were bit, and you're just now getting to the point of like things are gonna get bad. So, assuming that you get cured and then get bit again, you know you would have a pretty good amount of time, like 3, 4, 5 days before you need to panic.
Okay.
So you eat the spells, take a nap, let's go kill some shit.
So are we playing Darkest Dungeon right now? Is that what's happening? And we have to decide if we're gonna put them up inside the.
I mean, kinda.
I think we cast the spells in the necessary order, hope it sticks, and push on. Because the longer we sit and deliberate, the greater risk this town is being put in.
You guys got about 30 minutes till the Dwarf Brothers come back if you still want your quiet space.
And I'll look at the sun and say, and it seems like we got about 30 minutes until noon.
God!
What are we doing?
Messaging the wrong person again.
Wasn't it Karg and Brelin that did the whole thing?
Yeah,
that's correct.
Yeah. It's really up to them if they say yes
The
or
two
no.
people that aren't here?
We're kind of stuck with them.
I'm here. I mean, I'm here.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah, I came back. So I mean, the problem with that is I know I didn't prep the spells to fix it.
Neither did I, unless we want to cheat and retcon. I wouldn't have prepared any of those spells.
So the thing is it's still a thing we can do. We will just need to spend today preparing for the encounter, going back in. Tonight, one of us changes our spells around, or both of us in case one of us fails with what we prepped. And then we spend yet another day preparing, stay yet another night, and come dawn of day 3, we prep spells to go in. This will be a 2-day fix.
Is there anybody in this town that we've witnessed or anything that may have maybe the services that we would require to fix me?
Nope.
No.
If we're gonna be here for multiple days, we need guards. We need to post up, and
Can't we teleport
I
back
think
to
Bellows.
Favorun doesn't have a lot to do. I can.
So is
I
this
can
like
stand
Passaic?
guard.
This is the Passaic of
But-
cities? Is that what
I mean,
understand?
honestly, Calvin has a good idea.
Side note, the mayor's gone.
Yep.
Okay. Didn't know if you knew that, but I know where he is.
The blacksmith is
I know
gone
where he
as
is,
well.
too.
The woman who was having her mind erased, she's gone.
So if we take 3 days, they're dead, right?
Well, maybe not
sure.
necessarily. Maybe not necessarily. The mayor may be being used for the next stud, while the woman is going to be the next mayor.
Oh, they're just creating another spawn. and then they're dead after that.
Until they're used up, yes. But I mean, they may not necessarily be dead by the time we get there.
Okay, so what are the odds? I heard Quartz being brought up. What are the odds that we as a party, well, Bellows gets sent back to Quartz, and holy clerics in the city can help him, and your manager can then teleport him back, and we as a party continue on to the mine without him.
First of
and
We
he
all,
can always
catches
just
up.
leave him here.
the
do it
problem is
ourselves.
break enchantment's like a level 5 spell. So you have to find an NPC that can cast a level 5 spell.
I have 50 platinum pieces that I will throw towards whatever needs to be done to get him fixed in Quartz.
I don't know if there's anyone in Quartz that can cast level 5 spells.
Well, I can also tell you I won't be able to get him to Quartz today. I've already sent Anelia home. She's used 2 of her teleports for the day. She only has the capacity for 3 when she is prepared for such travel. So she can come here, she can come back today, but she won't be going anywhere else.
I just don't like the likelihood of a 3-day turnaround for us sitting in this town and nothing bad happening.
So that means
That's understandable.
At the very least, we're a little bit, more refreshed than we were when we first got back. We could probably defend the town a little bit better, maybe even afford to split up a little if we think there's places we need to watch.
There's a good chance they may not care to come back. They've got what they need. They've replaced their stud. They've replaced their mayor. The doctor, they've given up on because I've informed them the doctor is no longer of use to them. So unless they come back for me,
they might.
There is the potential that he does need another doctor, and he did express that he would be interested in my services. However, I declined his initial job offer. That doesn't mean he won't come back and try to attempt another offer.
What if they come back for Bellows?
They've lost like 30 Bodax in the last 3 days too.
Okay, so Blaine is not even here. How long does it normally take to travel? We're gonna get there at the night, right? We're gonna get to the mine in the middle of the night if we leave now, aren't we?
I think it's only a couple hours.
3 hours?
Horses out, no problem. Yeah.
I think it was 3 or 4 hours or something. That's what it took. So I mean, we'd get there around
midday,
4
Dinner
p.m.
time?
Eat dinner at 4? Holy shit! What's wrong with me?
Whatever. We're gonna eat dinner before we're embroiled in combat.
We got time. Blaine's not here if we want to go through what's wrong with you.
That's not enough time.
No, it's probably not. You couldn't even address my mental issues in that time.
Sure you can. Those are easy.
Spoopy Thunder.
You can say shit's fucked. Man, you're making me want to play Don't Starve.
Everyone knows shit's fuck.
I mean, I really want to save Bellows, but Bellows is a pretty strong, capable man, and we got 2 innocent civilians that are being put in direct harm's way.
I mean,
And the
he
longer
also
we wait,
says he feels fine.
Alright, I'm back.
He did. He said he feels fine.
Blaine, how long does it take to get to the mine from here?
It was about 3 hours by horse.
Yeah.
Back. Yeah, by
So, how
gate.
you feeling?
Sorry?
How you feeling?
I don't know. Has anything changed
You
since I
feeling
went
good?
to take a
You tell
pee?
me.
I'm feeling
Alright.
fine.
yeah, I asked him how he was
Alright.
feeling in chat, but I don't think he.
Fellas, I'm feeling fine.
Feels fine.
Onward and outward.
According to DM, I'm feeling fine.
Can I hold this off for 30 minutes and do this? I wanna collect some blood, regardless of Jack's concerns, and put them in my bag of holding.
Okay.
I will say, if we're gonna travel, I will find Karg and explain to him everything I'm feeling, and like, you think that's something you can fix? Like on the ride or whatever.
Okay. Alice, with those 2 survival rolls, you're able to find.
First one's food, second one's blood.
Okay, so with that survival roll for blood, you're able to find enough to fill probably like a water skin between multiple animals you kill.
Okay.
So the party has decided that they are onward and upward to the mine. Yes.
As far as you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, I do have a question.
Okay.
This will require a heal check, probably, as well as a spellcraft. Do you think that the spell Delay Pain, which prevents all effects... Alright, is Blaine even listening? I know he's muted.
I am sorry, my dad was talking to me. I'm listening.
Do you think the spell Delay Pain, which
Shut up.
suppresses all effects of pain, do you think this would be considered a type of pain? And that I could make it so that he would be completely immune to its effects?
Oh, like his stomach pains? I mean,
Like,
yeah, I
just
mean they're like
craving blood.
yeah, they're like hunger pains. If you wanted to use delay pain on him, I would say that however long the spell lasts, he does not have a chance to feel the effects of the hunger.
I can make him not feel it for 12 hours.
Still cast it right before we go in, probably.
I can totally do that. Are you willing for that? It's technically a... You know, you can technically choose to resist it if you want, Bellows, but I believe I can make it so you can resist all pain, technically, not even just thirst and hunger, but any sort of pain for 12 hours.
Oh yeah, you'd sell him on that if he ain't gonna feel pain.
Sure. No pain at all whatsoever. You will not be able to feel it.
Dude's a dope fiend.
Do it.
Hey.
Okay. We'll do that when we get there
There's
then.
nothing that triggers to be like, I don't know, immoral or anything about that to me. So yeah, go for it.
Sure, no problem.
So about
If you're...
3 hours ride.
Are we gonna do tea time before we take off?
Yes.
Need some tea time.
Yeah.
I drink some tea.
Yes.
You
Tea.
guys take your tea time. You collect your horses. I assume you let someone know you're leaving.
Yeah, your mama.
Probably one of the brothers Broxon.
Darren, right?
Sarah
Okay.
and Ray. Sarah.
Okay, let Sarah and Ray know you're
know
leaving.
You should.
And then you guys ride off. In about 3 hours, you make it to the entrance to the mine. And for the most part, it looks exactly how you left it. There's a sinking feeling, I think, in everybody's stomach from being here the last time, but nothing seems unchanged. There's still the remnants of the battle you had here, the negative energy that twisted and contorted some of the greenery around it. And you guys are able to make your way inside. Once we get here, we are in dungeon crawl.
I see a bajillion dead bodies on my right and my left.
Hey, why is she here?
All right, yeah. When we show up and we're getting
I
ready
see
to
a
go
black
in,
screen.
Jax turns to Bellows, and he
Oh, here we go.
chants some dark arts. The air around him darkens, and shadows pour out of his mouth and shoot in to Bellows' mouth, and he feels no pain after that.
Does feel a
That's-
little gay.
That's almost as nasty as some of the
That
spells I
normally
cast.
does that normally how his spells present themselves?
They're all shadows, man.
Okay. All right.
46 perception to listen.
Every time you've been to this mine
Blaine,
before.
while we're in this mine, my false vision just shows the entrance of the mine as it is right now. So if we're ever scryed on or tried to be spied on by magic, what they're going to see is the entrance of the mine.
Okay. So all the other times being in this mine, your perception checks have kind of been, almost felt like they've been useless because of how quiet it's been. That's not the case anymore. This mine is very much alive. There's the sounds of like metal on rock. There's the sounds of people talking. There is workers moving. It is very, very active.
Do I, with this survival check, notice the tracks of the woman that we encountered in town?
You do not. You do find a bunch of tracks. I mean, a plethora of them, but you do not find any that you could say were hers.
Do I?
Horse.
Blaine, can you link my token to my HP on my character sheet? Is that possible?
You should already be representation of it.
It doesn't. I can like.
What? Let's see.
I have to manually set it every time.
I think supposed to be? Character sheet 147. It's what to 147 on mine. What's it on yours?
I put it to manually put it to 147. I had it set to 127, even though my character sheet, when I adjusted my hit points on my character sheet, so I'm doing now, right? I'll change it to 150. You'll notice it's not changing on my token. I would love to play